The story opens with a torrential downpour on a ruined tower. The woman gripped the bloody knife in her hand. Qin Feng, you're still as impressive as ever. Before her, a warrior was trapped amidst a pile of monster corpses, his lifespan draining 100 times faster, yet he still had the strength to conquer the ancient god's ruins. But I've already taken this divine artifact, the Eye of Judgment. The young man coughed up a mouthful of fresh blood, struggling to speak through the pain. Cough, but why? Why betray me now? Lightning struck again, illuminating Xiao Yu's cold face. But I'm your brother, Qin Xiao Yu sneered, her eyes filled with contempt. My brother? Qin Feng, you're just my parents' adopted son. We're not even blood related, yet you dare call yourself my brother. Song Fei stepped forward from behind, his tone laced with admonishment. Xiao Yu, you shouldn't say things like that. The girl immediately lit up when she saw him. Brother Song Fei, but that scumbag continued, his voice dripping with sarcasm. Though our big brother here was quite useful. He looked down at Qin Feng with a gloating expression. Qin Feng, I really have to thank you. Thanks to you, Xiao Yu and I were able to obtain this divine artifact. To drain your lifespan instantly, it took me a great deal of effort to implant the fallen soul's edge into your body. So, how do you like this little thank you gift? Qin Feng's vision blurred, red blood streaming down his cheek. Qin Xiao Yu, I worked hard to raise you in our parents' place. I even paid for your education. After the game started, I risked my life for you countless times. I truly misjudged a sister like you. Qin Xiao Yu dismissed his words with a cold tone. After our parents died, you were always controlling me, meddling in my life. When Brother Song Fei and I needed protection, you still had some value. But now that we have the divine artifact, you're completely useless. Song Fei gripped his sword and lunged forward with a vicious look in his eyes. Qin Feng, you can die in peace. I'll take good care of Xiao Yu for you. Qin Feng roared in hatred at the approaching blade. I'll haunt you both even in death! Then his head rolled, blood staining the sky as memories flashed through Qin Feng's mind. In the year 2025, a brutal divine game appeared. Whenever people fell asleep, they would be pulled into that world. The only currency in the game was life itself. If you died, your lifespan was deducted. If you killed monsters, your lifespan increased. The power of the players was terrifying. They could expend their lifespan to bring their abilities from the game into reality. A powerhouse could tear a tank apart with their bare hands or slice a plane out of the sky with a single sword strike, and even withstanding a nuclear bomb with their body was no longer a fantasy. Back to Qin Feng. He fought resiliently amidst hordes of vicious monsters. From that point on, the world changed rapidly, with disasters spreading everywhere. I led my sister through countless hardships, eventually becoming one of the top 100 powerhouses in the world. Power surged into my eyes, granting me extraordinary abilities. After countless trials and overcoming endless dangers, I finally conquered the ancient god's ruins. Having obtained the divine artifact, the Eye of Judgment, I was qualified to reach the very pinnacle. But immediately after, a cold, sharp blade was pressed against his body. Xiao Yu showed no mercy, plunging the knife deep into Qin Feng. The blade transformed into thorny vines that pierced his flesh, causing him excruciating pain. I was betrayed by my only remaining family. My head rolled into a hidden corner among the rocks. It turned out my entire life of sacrifice was all for nothing. All my efforts only served to benefit others. His final moments only strengthened Qin Feng's will. I can't accept this. If I get a chance to live again, I swear I'll live for myself. His vision slowly faded to black. Suddenly, the young man woke up in a familiar bed. Qin Feng shot up, completely bewildered. Where is this? The real world? He broke out in a cold sweat and quickly touched his neck. Didn't I already die? The year 2025, Qin Feng quickly looked out the window. Could it be, seeing the bustling city at night, that I've been reborn? Reborn 9 years in the past, right at the moment the brutal divine game was born. Qin Xiao Yu kicked the door open, a cranky expression on her face. Seeing him, she yelled, Qin Feng, so you were home after all. Why didn't you answer my calls? Qin Feng looked at her, thinking to himself, just as I remember, on the day the game launched, Qin Xiao Yu and I had a huge fight over Song Fei, and she took her anger out on everything, even kicking over the trash can. Wasn't I going to support brother Song Fei? Are you trying to ghost me? You have no idea how important it is for me to go support him this time. Qin Feng recalled some old details. Before the game appeared, Song Fei was a famous underground idol, and Qin Xiao Yu was his crazed fan. Song Fei seemed glamorous on the outside, but in reality, he was a scumbag who secretly scammed female fans out of their money and bodies. To protect Qin Xiao Yu, he never let her associate with him, only to be falsely accused of meddling in her life in the end. Xiao Yu's voice blared. Those other fans and that street trash have started infringing on his rights. I have to go support him, and those damn crazy fans with wrong shoe are disgusting. They're clinging to him. He's in a crisis, and you're here stopping me, cutting off my money, making me look bad, and you're responsible for this. The girl's voice grew louder as she pointed directly at Qin Feng. Hey, are you deaf? I'm talking to you. Are you pretending you can't hear me? It's because of you that he dropped in the rankings. Before she could finish, Qin Feng delivered a hard slap landed across her face. Xiao Yu collapsed onto the floor, amidst the mess she herself had made. Her face was red and swollen, her eyes brimming with tears. Qin Feng, you dare to hit me? Qin Feng glared, his voice ice cold. Qin Xiao Yu, I don't have the time or the patience to deal with you today, but if you dare to cause trouble again, I will slap you senseless. He took out a bank card. This is the money our parents left behind. Over the years, no matter how hard life got, I never touched a single cent of it. Today, I'm giving it all to you. He threw the card at her head, picked up his glass of water, and opened the door. For our parents' sake, I'll let this go. But listen carefully, from now on. He closed the door, his voice resolute. I, Qin Feng, have no sister like you. Qin Xiao Yu clutched her cheek, sobbing on the floor, looking utterly wronged. Meanwhile, Qin Feng was alone in his room, lost in deep thought. In my past life, to protect Qin Xiao Yu, I missed out on so many opportunities. Countless secret realms and treasures that required taking risks to explore, but I gave them all up. He held a few eye-enhancing pills in his hand. I'm also very curious. Without this burden, what heights can I reach? He swallowed the pills with a gulp of water. This time, I will use my knowledge of the game from my past life to surpass everyone. The young man put the glass down on the table. Qin Xiao Yu, you're on your own now. As for that bastard Song Fei, the thought of him made his anger flare. I will kill you with my own 2 hands. Qin Feng stepped into a water-filled space, observing the surrounding portals and whispering, the class selection hall. How nostalgic. I remember the first time I came here. I panicked, and it took me a few hours to finally choose a class and leave. This time, I have to be faster. In front of him was the image of a warrior. In my past life, I chose to be a warrior to protect Qin Xiao Yu. Although the warrior class isn't weak, it's not suitable for me anymore. Without Qin Xiao Yu holding me back, my solo speed will be much faster. Qin Feng scanned his surroundings. Mobility is the most important factor. He quickly found his target. The young man touched the mirror's surface. I've decided. In this life, I'll choose to be an assassin. A brilliant surge of power erupted. The divine artifact, the Eye of Judgment, completed its binding. That eye stared directly at Qin Feng as the Eye of Judgment activated its unique attribute, the Power of Judgment, a passive ability. Upon entering the brutal divine game, you automatically receive the highest tier class and talent. Qin Feng was pleased. The Eye of Judgment. It was still bound to me even after my rebirth. So that's how it is. Once a divine artifact recognizes its master, it's useless to anyone else, even if it's gouged out. Or could it be the very thing that allowed me to be reborn? A dark power flooded his body, pulling him into a constantly shifting vortex. Congratulations, you have obtained the hidden class. Shadow. Qin Feng's arm emerged from the rift. The class change was complete. His hair turned white and his clothes transformed to match. You have become a shadow. Qin Feng felt the power coursing through his entire body. Shadow. So this is the highest tier hidden class for assassins, completely different from the warrior I was in my past life. To possess such strength immediately after a class change, he widened his amber eyes in awe. Every time a class is chosen, the probability of getting a high-tier hidden class is extremely low. And yet, the Power of Judgment grants a 100% success rate. The system announced, Power of Judgment, the most ancient primordial power in the universe, which overrides all rules and order. You do not possess divinity, so you cannot actively activate the power, but its passive effects are still in force. He was enveloped in a sphere of energy, a primordial power with supreme authority that transcends all rules and order. This reminded him of a certain detail. In his previous life, it wasn't until the 7th year of the game that a top player managed to escape the forsaken land of the gods and reach the land of order. It was only then that humanity learned of the power of order, but even after many years, no one had managed to obtain it. Qin Feng was ecstatic. I can't believe on the very first day of my rebirth, I've obtained a primordial power that surpasses both order and rules. All I need to do is leave the forsaken land of the gods, get to the land of order, and obtain divinity, and I'll be able to activate the power. It looks like I have a new major goal for this life. The system displayed a notification. Class selection is complete. Please enter your in-game name. He pondered. If my class was born from darkness, then I'll just be called Shadow. He touched the screen. The system responded, Your name has been set, Shadow. The space around him gradually darkened. Now entering the forsaken land of the gods, a desolate wasteland teeming with countless monsters. Be careful, they are ready to rip you to shreds and steal your life at any moment. By leaving town and killing monsters, you will gain tradable lifespan. Qin Feng appeared in a town, but if you die in the game, half of your lifespan will be deducted, including both your tradable and non-tradable lifespan. Shelltown is a peace zone. There are no monsters, players cannot attack one another, and the rate of lifespan loss is halved. Chaos erupted all around him. Hey, where are we? What's a class? What's this about a code name? I just got off my night shift, came home, and went to sleep. Is this a hallucination? Qin Feng observed them, thinking, have this many people already been dragged into the game? Someone else yelled, I have no idea. I was up all night gaming. I must have fallen asleep. Why am I here? Ouch, that hurts. This isn't a dream. It looks like we've all been dragged into some game. Qin Feng quietly moved through the crowd. The powerful players from every nation would soon appear and reshape the world order. If I want to get a head start, I need to act fast. Time waits for no one. A curious person stared at him. What class is that? How come he looks so different from the rest of us? Must be an assassin. I'm an assassin too, so why don't I look that cool? Look, he's even got special effects. Qin Feng pulled up his mask and proceeded with caution. Up ahead, a few people were just returning to town. Battle. It hurts so much, so you return to town when you die? They were terrified. Those monsters are too vicious. Just one bite took half my health bar. How are we supposed to fight them? It's just a level 1.5 creep. Yet the three of us charging in only took a third of its health. Half of my lifespan has been deducted. The three men looked at the girl in the middle. Sister Latu, what should we do now? Tanfeng observed her. The starting weapon for an archer is a short bow, but she's using a longbow. It seems she also has a hidden class. Latu approached him with an offer. Hey brother, it looks like you have a hidden class. Want to party up with us? The monsters out there are really strong. You can't fight them alone. Our party got wiped once, so we have experience. Tanfeng thought to himself, experience getting killed? He replied, no thanks. The two guys with her sneered, playing the strong, silent type to act like a pro. The five of us couldn't even handle it, and you think you can do it alone? That's hilarious. We told you it's dangerous out there. Are you going alone because you have a death wish? Yeah, he's got a noble hidden class, and he's an assassin. If he can't win, he can at least run. Latu opened the inspection window. His name is Shadow. What a show-off. She signaled her team to move out. Let's follow him and see what skills he has. Maybe we can learn something new about the monsters. And while we're at it, we can watch how he dies. Her expression darkened as a cunning smile spread across her face. Tanfeng calmly walked down the path, heading deep into the forest. Latu hid behind a tree, watching him. The god-forsaken land. This place is so strange, so dangerous. Even though I don't know how I got here, with my years of playing online games, I quickly formed a party. I still shudder when I think about that monster. I can't believe the first monster in the starter village wiped out our entire party. That's not an enemy a level 1 player can handle. The other two guys commented, his starting weapon is different from yours. You use a dagger, but he's using a short sword. Not only that, he's faster than me. My agility stat as an assassin should be the highest. His clothes are different from ours too. Latu was hatching a plan. This guy, Shadow, is very unusual. If we follow him, we might get some important information. Suddenly, Tanfeng glanced back. Latu jumped. Did he spot us? But he immediately used a stealth skill, his body vanishing right before the gate. The group hurried over. Where did he go? Did he just disappear like that? Is that an invisibility skill? A starting skill is invisibility. What kind of cool class is that? They had no choice but to give up and head back. Forget it. Let's go back to town and find a way to level up. It's too dangerous out here. We've already died once. We only have half our lifespan left. That's right. Maybe there's a hidden reward, treasure, or an NPC somewhere. In reality, Tanfeng was just using stealth, becoming invisible until he was attacked. Upon breaking stealth, the first attack will have increased power. Stealth mastery doubles the duration of stealth and increases its level by 1. He realized something useful. They can't see me? This shadow class is really special. An ordinary assassin's stealth at this level is easily detected, but with stealth mastery, no person or monster can detect me in the early stages. Tanfeng continued into the rainforest. Those naive newbies won't find anything useful in town. It's just a safe zone. In this divine game, weak players are just prey for monsters. After a while, he opened his system window. His stealth had run out. The duration wasn't long. Luckily, the cooldown starts upon activation, so he could go invisible again in just a few seconds. The status window showed the character name Shadow. Class, Shadow. Level 1, non-tradable lifespan, 75 years. Tradable lifespan, 0 strength, 10 constitution, 10 plus 3, agility, 10 plus 8, spirit, 10. Tanfeng calculated that every player's base stats are 10 points. Different classes get bonus points on top of that. In his past life, his warrior class only got bonuses to strength and constitution. This time, the shadow class gets bonuses to all attributes, with agility even getting a plus 8, and he had 5 free attribute points. He considered that many players would choose to increase strength or spirit to boost their physical or magical damage, but that was a mistake. He put all his points into agility, 10 plus 13. As his aura intensified, he knew agility was the key factor. In the early stages, damage from any monster could crush a player. Only by increasing agility and speed could you kill monsters without taking damage. Suddenly, he heard a noise. A monster on a tree branch was spitting out a soul fragment from its mouth. A level 1 creeper, normal grade, was devouring a lifespan. He frowned. It seemed this was the one that took down that party of 4. As soon as it spotted its prey, the ferocious monster charged forward aggressively. Seeing the scattered wounds on its body, it was clear the previous group had dealt it a fair amount of damage. Tan Fong immediately jumped back to dodge. He knew that once a monster defeated a player, it would steal their lifespan. By absorbing lifespans, it could evolve to become stronger. Tan Fong used a skill, launching himself into the air, his hand tightening on the hilt of his blade as he simultaneously activated his stealth. His figure vanished in the middle of the clearing. The creeper looked around in a panic, unable to spot its enemy. At that exact moment, Tan Fong silently appeared right above it. From above, he delivered a fatal stab, breaking his stealth. The system immediately announced, "You have dealt 174 damage. You have defeated the level 1 creeper. You have received 10 experience points." The lifespan from the monster transferred directly into Tan Fong's body. He didn't expect to finish the opponent in just one blow. Although he knew that attacking a creeper's weak spot could cause critical damage, this amount of damage was far beyond his expectations. At the same time, he unlocked a new skill, backstab. The skill's description read, "If you attack an enemy from outside their line of sight, the damage is doubled." Tan Fong was surprised. He exclaimed inwardly, "So, that's how it is? There's even a backstab skill." Activating multiple class skills at once pushed the damage to a terrifying level. Suddenly, Qin Feng paused. For a few seconds, memories from his past life flooded back. He clearly remembered that a warrior's critical hit only dealt 40 damage before, and it took a very long time to take down a creeper, even resulting in serious injuries. Back then, he also held the core of strength in his hands, but had willingly given it to Xiao Yu. Now, Qin Feng kept the core for himself. The system announced, "You have gained 3 days of lifespan. Tradable. You have gained 54 years and 155 days of lifespan. Non-tradable." The power gradually dissipated. The 5 people killed by the creeper each lost at least 30 years of lifespan, totaling over 100 years. But when transferred to the creeper, only 54 years remained. Regardless, Qin Feng didn't mind, as the non-tradable lifespan was temporarily useless. Suddenly, the Eye of Judgment reacted. Activating the power of judgment, the system continued. "Congratulations on receiving the Infinite Evolution talent. A primal grade talent. When defeating monsters in single-player mode, you have a chance to receive evolution points. Used to upgrade skills. Every 24 hours, you automatically receive 5 evolution points. If you defeat a boss-level monster in single-player mode, you will 100% receive evolution points." Currently, Qin Feng possessed 5 evolution points. He excitedly opened the system panel, murmuring, "Infinite evolution, and it can even upgrade skills?" In his past life, he had never heard of such a thing, whether it was equipment or skill books. Once they dropped from monsters, they were always fixed at their initial level, unchangeable. So this was the power that transcended all rules and order. Qin Feng smirked, deciding to test it out. He chose to upgrade Shadow Veil and Backstab, consuming 4 evolution points, and the skills were successfully upgraded. Shadow Veil advanced from normal grade to bronze grade, allowing stealth for 12 to 16 seconds. When attacking, the stealth state is broken, but the next attack's damage is increased by 60 to 90. The cooldown was reduced from 28 seconds, and Backstab advanced from a low grade to normal with a passive effect. Attacks from behind deal an additional 10% to 15% damage. Qin Feng clenched his fists, his heart filled with excitement. The stealth duration of Shadow Veil had increased to 16 seconds. When combined with Stealth Mastery, this duration doubled, reaching 32 seconds. With such a long stealth duration, he could almost achieve a state of infinite stealth. If this skill were upgraded further, even a blood-spewing creeper could be taken down in a single blow. Suddenly, a voice sounded from behind him. "Hey, look at that scrawny kid. He took down that monster all by himself." Another voice added, "I told you this game was simple." The girl standing next to the man flattered him. "Brother Kang Zi, you're so amazing. With your strength, you could probably beat a dozen guys." Kang Zi proudly declared, "I'll protect you. As long as I'm here, you can rest easy." Qin Feng suddenly noticed something unusual. Above them, a monster was hiding in the canopy, revealing only its glowing red eyes. A voice called out, "Hey brother, I see you're having a tough time going alone. Do you want me to take you with me?" Qin Feng immediately activated Shadow Veil and disappeared. The other two were surprised. "Huh? Brother Kang Zi? Where did that guy go?" Kang Zi laughed heartily. "He was probably intimidated by my muscular physique." But the monster had already drawn very close. The girl and Kang Zi turned pale and screamed, "Holy crap, what the hell is that thing?" The monster took a bite, and black blood splattered everywhere. Level 1 Nurturer, bronze grade. Level 1 Spiderling, normal grade. Qin Feng had already prepared his defense with Shadow Veil. The Nurturer was a beginner boss with about 1,600 health, far beyond the capabilities of a new player, especially since it also commanded a swarm of small spiders. Qin Feng silently rushed towards the boss, whispering, "Perfect timing. Let me test the power of my newly upgraded skills." He aimed for the Nurturer's eye and unleashed an ambush strike. The boss roared, its body staggering. Qin Feng immediately went back into stealth, retreating with Shadow Veil. Unable to detect him, the monster could only growl in vain. The system announced, "You have dealt 338 damage, weak point attack." Qin Feng hid behind a branch, avoiding danger. He thought to himself, "Good thing I was fast enough. Otherwise, with just over 130 health, one hit would have killed me." The system continued, "You have received 9 points of damage." But Qin Feng didn't care. He was thrilled that the last hit dealt over 300 damage. It felt so satisfying. The monster began to destroy the surrounding trees, splattering poisonous blood everywhere. Qin Feng's eyes lit up. It's going berserk. He realized these monsters were very intelligent. They didn't just stand still and take hits, but reacted flexibly. He bent down to pick up a stone, observing the boss as it attacked randomly. The swarm of spiderlings was on high alert, making it difficult for him to approach. But Qin Feng's guess was correct. The Nurturer continued its rampage, and he threw a sturdy stone hard at it. The stone hit the spider's abdomen. The system reported, "You have dealt 299 damage. Weak point attack." Qin Feng still held another stone tightly. As expected, his main damage came from the stealth-breaking attacks of Shadow Veil and his enhanced class skills. Therefore, even hitting the enemy with a stone dealt significant damage. He leaned back to throw again. When Shadow Veil's cooldown was up, he threw another stone through a spiderling's head, activating effects like ambush strike, backstab, and weak point attack. The system announced, "Dealt 279 damage, weak point attack." Qin Feng retreated behind a tree, activating Shadow Veil to re-enter stealth, waiting for the cooldown before attacking again. In Serenity Town, a shocking event occurred. The leaderboard was updated. Player Shadow Veil has slain the Bronze Grade Nurturer, becoming the first to achieve this feat. Level 2. The Shell Town level rankings have started. This news stunned the players in town. "Oh my god, I got killed by a mob twice and I still don't know what's going on. But someone's already soloing a boss?" one person exclaimed. "If anyone knows this amazing guy, introduce me. Did he really solo it? No way. There's only one name on the leaderboard." A trembling voice said, "Sister Li Zi." "Shadow is the guy who just left a moment ago." Li Zi couldn't believe it. How did he reach level 2 so fast? It's completely illogical, and he even took down a boss. Another person doubted. "Our whole team can't even kill a regular mob. Yet he soloed a bronze-grade boss. Is the system bugged?" Kang Zi and the girl with him were also stunned to see the giant spider defeated, even though there were still small spiders around. Who is Shadow? Could it be that stealthed assassin from before? On Qin Feng's end, the system continued to announce, "You have slain the bronze-grade broodmother. You have received 300 experience points. Congratulations on reaching level 2. You have received 2 evolution points. The Shelltown rankings have been unlocked. You have received 1 reputation point. An announcement has been sent to the entire town." Qin Feng absorbed the power while feeling a bit of regret. When the big spider died, the smaller spiders scattered and fled. He mentally kicked himself for being careless. He should have killed the small spiders first, for more experience. The system continued. "You have received 46 days of tradable lifespan. Skill book, Bronze Hand of Greed, Bronze Corrosive Dagger, Attack Power plus 35, Agility plus 4, requires level 1-2 infinite evolution points." Seeing the skill book, Qin Feng was immediately surprised. Bronze Hand of Greed, an assassin-class skill that can be used on monster corpses, has a 20% chance to obtain additional loot. He never expected a bronze-grade boss to drop such a god-tier assassin skill. Qin Feng understood that the Hand of Greed could significantly improve his gear acquisition. In the later stages, when taking down powerful bosses, this skill provided a 20% chance for extra loot. He remembered in his past life, in the God Slayers Guild, a member with average strength became a highly sought-after figure thanks to this skill, always protected by bodyguards. Qin Feng was even more astonished when he thought of his infinite evolution talent. He looked at his hand and murmured, "Even though Hand of Greed only has a 20% chance, when combined with this talent, won't the loot drop rate increase infinitely?" The peaceful classroom scene continued amidst all the chaos. Qin Xiao Yu's friend asked worriedly, "Xiao Yu, aren't you going to call and apologize to your brother? Yesterday we skipped the exam to sneak off and cheer for brother Song Fei. Your brother must be furious." Qin Xiao Yu retorted resentfully, "I didn't do anything wrong. Why should I apologize? If it weren't for him, we almost missed the entrance time yesterday. He's the one who should apologize to me," her friend sighed. "But he's so good to you. Sometimes I'm jealous you have a brother like him." Xiao Yu fumed. "Good, my ace. All he does is boss me around all day. Besides, he's not even my real brother. Having brother Song Fei is enough for me. Her friend changed the subject. Speaking of which, what happened to your face? Xiao, you hesitated. I just fell. As they entered the school, they saw a crowd gathering. What's going on? Why are so many people around our classroom? Her friend squeezed through and saw a student slumped over a desk. Everyone around was bewildered. She was shocked. What happened to Zhang Wei? Why is he transparent? Another student was sweating bullets. I don't know. A moment ago, Wei said he wanted to catch up on sleep, and the next thing you know, he turned like this. Some people cried out. Holy crap, Zhang Wei's case isn't an isolated one, it's all over the internet. It seems like people all over the world are experiencing this. Some experts claim that just by sleeping, people will fall into this transparent, phantom-like state, but the cause is still unknown. The friend quickly pulled out her phone. I have to call and warn my parents right away. She turned to Xiao. You should also call your brother and tell him to be careful. Qin Xiao, you grumbled. I'm not going to contact him. The world would be better off if a guy like him just dropped dead. Meanwhile, Qin Feng continued to grow stronger with his new skill. The Hand of Greed successfully evolved from bronze to gold. The Assassin class skill now had a 20 to 70% chance to obtain additional loot from monster corpses. He learned the skill immediately. The system announced, Skill Hand of Greed successfully learned. You have received 2 evolution points. You have received 46 days of tradable lifespan. Qin Feng laughed heartily. Not bad luck. I got another 2 evolution points. Just 3 more and I can upgrade Hand of Greed to level 3, achieving a 100% loot drop rate. He activated Shadow Sneak, entering stealth. He thought that the various nations must have already discovered this issue. More and more people are flocking to the game. I have to speed up. First, I'll equip what I can. The Bronze Corrosive Dagger, attack power plus 35, agility plus 4, requires level 1. Walking through the forest, Qin Feng thought to himself, before long, everyone will realize that the skills and equipment from the game can be used in reality. When that happens, the world will be plunged into a bloodbath. To use skills and equipment in the real world, 2 conditions must be met, reaching level 10 and having enough tradable lifespan. Hunting mobs is too slow, he needed to find stronger bosses. Suddenly, a terrified scream echoed out. Run away! Qin Feng moved to a cliff edge and looked down. Careful, that creeper is attacking another team. A level 2 swift runner, bronze grade. Qin Feng watched with interest. A swift runner is just what I needed. But the warrior facing the monster surprised him. Wait a minute, that's Wang Meng. I didn't expect to see him here. He remembered a rumor from when Wang Meng first started the game. He formed a party with 6 other players, all of whom had hidden classes. Wang Meng shouted, Divine Shield! A protective barrier appeared, blocking the attack. Wang Meng's hidden class, the Holy Shield Warrior, has double the initial stats of a regular warrior, along with an invincibility skill. The female mage. A fireball formed within the team, aiming straight for the sprinter's arm. Qin Feng silently assessed that the prophet mage's damage was double that of a regular mage, thanks to the prophet's fireball. He quickly analyzed the other support members as well. The hidden class, sharpshooter, had double the stats of a regular archer, along with a continuous shot skill. The spirit healer had double the recovery ability of a normal priest, starting with a group healing skill. But all the attacks and spells missed their mark. The monster rammed into Wang Meng, pushing him back. The archer shouted, It's no use! This boss is too fast. Ranged attacks can't hit it. Wang Meng lowered his stance and ordered, Healer, heal me. The others continued to attack, trying to whittle down the boss's health to 0. Hearing this, Qin Feng thought to himself, Whittle it down? Wang Meng is being too optimistic. He's forgotten that this is the wilderness. If the battle drags on for too long, just as Qin Feng predicted, other monsters emerging from behind Wang Meng would easily attract even more monsters to charge in. He observed carefully, noticing a monster, a level 2 polluter of common grade, its body covered in dark brown mud, specializing in long-range attacks. Another warrior swung his sword and charged forward, shouting, Boss, be careful. This swordsman immediately caught Qin Feng's attention. He thought to himself, Interesting. Another hidden class I've never seen before. Even so, the damage he dealt was only in the dozens, which was negligible. However, his defensive ability was truly impressive. Suddenly, the monster spat out a sticky slime that affected the entire team. They were ensnared and put in a tight spot. It stinks. Damn it, we're in trouble. This is ground snare. Our movement speed is drastically reduced. The female mage screamed in panic before being grabbed by the monster. Help me. From the cliff, Qin Feng vanished in a flash. He swooped down, delivering a single sharp slash that lopped off the monster's head. The archer, the priest, and Wang Meng were all stunned. The female mage exclaimed as she saw the monster's corpse fall. Did someone just take down the polluter in one hit? Who was that? Is someone helping us? The swordsman struggled to his feet, muttering, Even a level 1 creeper takes us more than 10 seconds to surround and kill. But this level 2 polluter was killed almost instantly. How is that possible? Another monster behind him was also struck and vanished. He panicked. It was a true instant kill. Da Lizi, did you see who that was? The female mage quickly replied. I didn't see anything. Wang Meng quickly calmed the team, his voice firm. Let's hope this person is here to help us. Don't get distracted. Keep fighting. Everyone focus on the creeper. Now only the sprinter is left. Maintain the same pace as before, Wang Meng commanded. Meanwhile, Qin Feng, hidden on a tree branch, quietly reaped the rewards. System notification. You have defeated 2 level 2 polluters. You have received 40 experience points. You have received 1 evolution point. You have picked up the normal grade skill book, Hypertoxic Dart. You have received 8 days of tradable lifespan. Qin Feng opened his system panel and decided to upgrade Hypertoxic Dart. This skill deals continuous damage at mid to long range. He thought to himself, excellent, let's evolve it right away. Hypertoxic Dart has been upgraded to silver grade. This assassin-type skill allows you to throw a dart up to a maximum distance of 14 meters, dealing 120 points of base damage with a poison status effect. Hypertoxin deals 50% damage. Continuously per second, adds a weakness effect that lasts for 5 seconds and cannot be stacked. The cooldown is 5 seconds, requiring level 2. Suddenly, the sprinter charged forward, stabbing Wang Meng violently in the stomach. He was lifted off his feet, screaming in pain, while his teammates fumbled. The priest tried to heal him, but it was useless. It's not working. I can't heal him fast enough, Wang Meng said with difficulty. Everyone run. From above, a dart shot down, embedding itself straight into the monster's head, causing green blood to splatter everywhere, a critical hit to its weak spot. 2 of his teammates gaped. What was that? In the blink of an eye, the boss lost half its health bar. Wang Meng was released as the monster writhed in agony, its body covered in green blood. The sprinter's health drained over time, and it finally collapsed. System notification. Your damage contribution exceeds 90%. The loot belongs to you. You have defeated the bronze grade sprinter. You have received 600 experience points. Congratulations on reaching level 3. You have received 2 evolution points. You have received 55 days of tradable lifespan. Qin Feng held the dart, assessing it. He hadn't expected the continuous damage of the hypertoxic dart to work so perfectly with his passive skill. Combined with shadow stealth, I can become invisible and throw infinite darts in the early and mid-game. No monster will be a match for me. A sphere of energy appeared, leaving Wang Meng bewildered. Is this damage even humanly possible? The sphere quickly vanished, and he exclaimed, the loot light is gone. Wang Meng got up and looked around. Brother, I don't know who you are, but thank you for saving my life. Still hidden, Qin Feng replied coldly. Thank me? In a place like the wilderness, don't trust anyone so easily. Wang Meng nodded in understanding. I understand. Thank you for the reminder, Master. I won't disturb you while you check your gear. I'm Wang Meng. If you ever need help in the future, just look for me, a teammate rambled. Master, I'm Break Bloom Delizy. Can I add you as a friend? Wang Meng shouted, Stop talking, let's go. Qin Feng remained, thinking to himself, Wang Meng isn't bad, he's trustworthy. And what's more, he has the Great Xia government and abundant resources behind him. What I lack is a channel. For stable sales, I can sell him items I don't need in the future. He activated Greedy Hand, and the system announced, Congratulations, you have received 3 evolution points. You have received 55 days of tradable lifespan and obtained the Bronze Grade Sprinter's leather pants. He immediately equipped the Bronze Grade Sprinter's leather pants, an assassin-type item, which gave +8 physical defense, +5 to all elemental resistances, and speed. Cooldown +15%, requires level 2. Qin Feng was satisfied. This trip's haul wasn't bad. He still had a lot of equipment and skill books for other classes. When his inventory was full, he would return to town, to exchange them for tradable lifespan. Looking up at the sky, he mumbled, My growth rate has surpassed my previous life by 100 times. Song Fei, I'll find you soon. At that moment, another group of players was struggling against a horde of monsters. Realizing the dire situation, they shouted, This is bad! The monsters are multiplying! Run! But that idea was crushed by a giant figure. Hey, what are you all spacing out for? They faced a strange monster, with a slender body and shifty eyes. What is this thing? The monster tensed up, shooting out thorny vines that pierced the entire group. They were sent back to town, collapsing in a heap. The town was a place usually filled with bewildered players. People were whispering, Did you hear? Someone's willing to pay 10 million to have the master player, Shadow, help them level up? Due to dying too many times. Their lifespans kept decreasing. Have the rich people already started making moves? How can commoners like us compete? Qin Feng stepped out of the forest and pressed the confirm button on his screen. A mat was spread out, displaying his items. The equipment and skills stall is only open for 10 minutes. If you want to buy, you'd better hurry. The crowd of players was astonished. Holy cow, where did this guy come from? He's wearing 2 pieces of bronze gear, and he's planning to sell more. Is this the guy who took down the bronze boss? They looked up at his name, Shadow. This was the same Shadow at the top of the leaderboards. They whispered, "Why can't we see his face clearly? He has the full concealment feature turned on." So mysterious. A mage approached and asked, "This ice spike skill, how much are you selling it for?" Qin Feng replied, 100 days of tradable lifespan. This woman was Grey Rose, ranked 11th in Seashell Town, also with full concealment activated. She hesitated. 100 days is a bit much. Can you sell it for less? He explained, a normal grade ice spike is very powerful for a mage build, especially at the current monster hunting stage. 100 days is already cheap. Grey Rose asked again, "Can I use real-world money?" Qin Feng offered a solution. "If you have money, buy lifespan from other people first. Then trade with me. If no one offers a higher price, I'll hold the item for you." Grey Rose raised an eyebrow. Wait a moment. She turned back to her group to discuss via messages. "What should we do, everyone? With Ice Spike, our team can reach level 3 soon and leave this game." Someone replied, "We've only progressed this fast thanks to your leadership. I have no objections." The whole group agreed. Grey Rose nodded. "All right, then everyone transfer your tradable lifespan to me. When we return to the real world, I'll transfer cash to you all," Grey Rose commanded. The female mage quickly gathered the required amount. "Here is 100 days of lifespan. Let's trade." Qin Feng mentally assessed, a level 2 team must have killed at least 30 to 40 creepers, so their total tradable lifespan definitely exceeds 100 days. The system announced, "You have sold the skill book Ice Spike, receiving 100 days of tradable lifespan." Tradable lifespan increased from 268 days to 368 days. Just as Grey Rose left, Jiang Li hurriedly approached, her voice aggressive. "I finally found you. Shadow," she declared. "Shadow, I'll give you a chance. Get me to level 3. When we get back to the real world, I'll pay you 10 million in cash." The surrounding crowd broke into a cold sweat. They had just heard the rumor about someone offering 10 million to find Shadow, so it was true. This guy is just going to make 10 million like that? Qin Feng frowned at the girl, recognizing her immediately as Jiang Li. In his past life, she was the leader of a criminal gang that was eventually wiped out by the government. She was still bragging loudly, "My father is the chairman of Daijang Industries. You can look it up any time. You don't have to worry about me not having the money." Qin Feng saw right through her intentions. Reports from his past life indicated that Jiang Li used cash to buy tradable lifespan as bait, then kidnapped players, forcing them to do her illegal bidding, even killing those who disobeyed in the real world. He cursed inwardly, "Scum," then flatly refused, "I refuse." Jiang Li, refusing to back down, lifted her chin. "Shadow, you may be strong in the game, but right now, nobody understands what this game is. Come with me, and I guarantee you a life of luxury, fine food, designer clothes, fancy cars, mansions, beautiful women, anything you could ever want." Qin Feng ignored her, replying coldly, "If you're not buying anything, don't interfere with my business. What good is cash? The currency that rules this world is tradable lifespan." Jiang Li's face twisted in anger. "I spit on that. I'm showing you respect by inviting you to lead my team. If this were the real world, I'd have already taught you a lesson." Qin Feng didn't back down, his killing intent flaring up. "Say one more word, and I'll make your lifespan go into the negative." The terrifying aura from him sent Jiang Li and her team into a panic, scrambling to escape. "Run! Wait for me!" they screamed as they fled. Qin Feng continued his business, making a decent profit. The system announced, "You have sold the bronze grade Phi Quang cloak. Received 19 days of tradable lifespan." Tradable lifespan increased from 527 days to 546 days. "All right, time to pack up," he muttered, as a player holding a staff shouted, "Such power!" Qin Feng smiled, and after packing up his stall, he prepared to continue hunting. Next target, the Cursed One. Qin Feng's figure vanished into thin air using stealth. At this time, no one knew that tradable lifespan could turn skills into reality, nor did anyone suspect that the divine game would cause the real world's order to collapse. Qin Feng's gaze grew more resolute. The values once held in high regard would soon become meaningless. Only personal strength would be the foundation of everything. The surrounding crowd was baffled. Where did he go? So mysterious, he just vanished. What kind of class is that? Jiang Li's group ran into an alley, everyone panting heavily. She yelled bitterly, "That bastard Shadow not only rejected my offer, but he even dared to threaten me. Just wait until I get back to the real world. I'll definitely capture and kill you." From the alley, a guy stepped out and introduced himself. "Hello, Miss Litu. I'm Mao Liptuan. You can call me Old Mao. I'm currently level 2 and know a few tricks to level up. I can help you." So is that 10 million still on the table? Jiangla crossed her arms, curious. What kind of tricks? Old Mao said vaguely. I wouldn't tell this to a normal person, but for you, miss. Latu, to show my sincerity, I'll make an exception. He explained that to level up quickly, you have to put all 5 of your initial attribute points into agility. That way, when you run at full speed, we'll be slightly faster than the creepers. Understand? Jiangla had a revelation. So that's how it works. So that's how you play this game. She gritted her teeth. Damn it, I put all 5 points into strength. Then she praised him. You've actually got some skills. Okay, help me level up, but you're not as strong as me, so I'll only pay 5 million. Get me to level 3, and I'll transfer the money when we're back in the real world. Old Mao nodded. No problem. That shadow guy might be strong, but he's clearly got a screw loose, turning down an easy 10 million. What an idiot. At this moment, Qin Feng had returned to a tree branch in the forest. The cursed one, now taller and more terrifying, had evolved into a silver rank boss. Gray mist coiled around its body, a sign that its evolution was still ongoing. He created an extremely poisonous dart in his hand. It takes at least 7 to 8 hours to go from silver to gold rank. I'm too lazy to wait, he mumbled. He threw the dart at the monster's weak point, dealing massive damage with a hidden strike. The cursed one's poisonous blood gushed out like rain, combined with the dart's damage over time effect. Qin Feng used stealth to hide as the monster gathered a ball of magic. A silver rank boss has 2 to 3 times the health of a bronze rank 1, demanding a careful strategy. The monster roared, lifted the orb, and unleashed a spell that caused explosions across the ground. Qin Feng leaped away, keeping his distance and calculating his next move. The cursed one was a magic-type boss, primarily using high damage, area of effect attacks. After throwing the dart, he had to retreat immediately to avoid its attack range. With his current health and defense, a single hit meant certain death. The monster's eye sockets glowed as it launched a wide, frantic swiping attack. Qin Feng dodged while hidden, waiting for his stealth skill to come off cooldown. Just as he predicted, the boss's assault weakened, and he instantly re-entered stealth, escaping its attack range. Gripping his poisoned dagger, he lunged forward, aimed straight for the monster's eye, and delivered a hidden strike, causing its health bar to plummet from the bleeding effect. The cursed one dropped low, running on all fours. Qin Feng followed, pulling out another dagger. The boss was fleeing because its health was low. He smirked and leaped onto the frantically escaping monster. Good, just accept your death quietly. That'll save me some trouble. He unleashed his signature move, stabbing it directly in the head. The system announced, you have defeated the silver rank cursed one. You have gained 1,800 experience points. Congratulations, you have reached level 5. You have gained 4 evolution points and 124 days of tradable lifespan. Qin Feng was amazed. Its power had raised him 2 levels and even given him 4 evolution points. He activated his Hand of Greed to appraise the energy cores on the ground. The Hand of Greed skill succeeded in its judgment, doubling the bonus rewards. The silver rank boss yielded 12 evolution points and 372 days of tradable lifespan. He exclaimed, among the white orbs of light, one item stood out. The bonus effect of Hand of Greed had activated, upgrading a piece of loot from silver to gold rank. A gold rank item? Qin Feng was ecstatic. No wonder the Jade Grade Hand of Greed has a 20% chance to upgrade loot quality. He knelt to inspect the drops. There were 7 or 8 items, but his backpack only had 1 empty slot. It would be a huge waste of time to run back and clear his inventory right after killing a boss. Hopefully, the cursed one dropped a storage ring or something to expand my inventory. Qin Feng's hand reached out, touching the brilliant light. His battle had ended, but back in the town, the mage from Wang Mang's party had just returned and was cheering. We finally made it back alive. They praised him. It's all thanks to Boss Wang Mang that we hit level 3 and could return to town. Wang Mang replied modestly, it was a team effort. The female mage sighed regretfully. It's a shame I didn't get to add that expert as a friend. He probably turned me down because I was covered in mud. A teammate teased her. Maybe if you were wearing this new set of gear, he would have said yes. Suddenly, the ranking board updated, showing that Shadow had reached level 5. The crowd was stunned. What? He jumped from level 3 straight to level 5? What kind of monster boss did he kill? Just 10 minutes ago, I saw that pro selling gear. How did he gain 2 levels so quickly? Someone joked, my sister is 18 years old. I hope the boss likes her so I can ride his coattails. Another party member yelled, carry me so I can level up. Get lost. He didn't even care about 10 million. Why would he care about your sister? A young man on Wang Mang's team swore, we just hit level 3, and that pro is already at level 5. Is he even going to let the rest of us play? Wang Mang spoke up to boost their morale. Don't dwell on it. For now, let's return to reality and tell our families and friends about this godforsaken game. The entire team pressed a button on their screens and disappeared. The world was about to fall into chaos. They needed to at least prepare their loved ones. Okay, let's have a meeting first. Wang Mang woke up in a bed, holding his head. The people around him shouted, "Look, Brother Wang is awake! Go tell the captain! Brother Wang's awake!" His colleagues surrounded him. "Brother Wang, what happened? Are you all right? You scared us to death. Do you have any idea what you looked like? Your body was practically transparent. I told you yesterday to get some rest and that I'd tail the suspect." Sweat beaded on Wang Mang's forehead as he yelled, "Get everyone together now! Something big has happened!" Inside the police station, an astonished voice asked, "So you're reporting that you partied up with someone with a hidden class, were almost wiped out, and then were saved by some guy?" Wang Mang affirmed, "That's right. His name is Shadow, and he was only level 3 when he saved us. But by the time we hit level 3, he was already level 5, jumping 2 levels at once." A colleague exclaimed in disbelief, "2 levels? If he's level 5, doesn't that make him the #1 player in the world? How did he manage that?" Wang Mang guessed. "He probably killed a powerful boss." A police officer frowned and asked, "You said Shadow reached level 3 an hour ago, so why hasn't he returned to reality yet? Doesn't he have any family to notify?" Wang Mang shrugged, "I'm not sure, but it's possible." The only woman on the team spoke up. "Could it be that Darkness is a transmigrator? Usually only orphans rise up that quickly, right?" Everyone's stares made her feel awkward. "Did I say something wrong?" The middle-aged man reminded her, "And you, I told you to read fewer novels. The situation is this serious. Don't joke around." He changed the subject. The information Wang Meng provided about the Divine Disassembly game matched the data from their superiors. New research shows that some elderly people have died right after falling asleep. Comparing the data, all the deceased had died multiple times in the game. Everyone was stunned. In other words, if your lifespan in the game hits 0, you die in real life. A team member exclaimed, "This is a supernatural phenomenon, beyond our comprehension." The captain nodded, his voice grave. "That's right, it's very likely we're facing an unidentified supernatural invasion." Those attending the meeting listened intently. The higher-ups have issued an emergency order to form vanguard teams in local areas, with the mission to explore the Divine Disassembly game and gather intelligence. "We must build a professional force as soon as possible." The captain's voice rang out, emphasizing the severity of the situation. "This is a global event. Currently, all nations are pouring resources into exploring this game. If we fall behind, we will lose the initiative on the international stage. We must gather intelligence at all costs." The police chief assigned the tasks. "And you, I'm appointing you as the captain of Team 1. The woman replied decisively, "Understood." He continued, "Wang Meng." He gave a cold nod to accept the order. Their target was Qin Feng. The police chief explained, "According to Wang Meng, Darkness has a good personality. You could try to connect with him. I chose An Yu as captain because her personality is suitable for investigating Darkness." He emphasized, "I hope you all can quickly determine the true identity of Darkness. Ideally, you should represent the government to establish a cooperative relationship with him and extract the information he holds. The priority mission for the rest of you is to maintain social stability. Understood?" The sky outside was tinged with sunset, and the meeting quickly ended. Dismissed. Meanwhile, Xiao Yu's school lights were still on. The students hadn't been dismissed yet, and her friends were chattering around her. Zhang Wei said, "People from the same area will appear in the same newbie town when they sleep." "Really? No way, I have to go home. I need to take care of my parents. They've never played games before. They definitely won't be able to adapt." A friend reassured him, "Don't worry, you can develop first and then help your parents later." Qin Xiao Yu quietly checked her phone, feeling extremely annoyed. Something this big happened and Qin Feng didn't contact me at all. Why hasn't he apologized to me? So arrogant. She recalled how in the past, whenever she got angry, Qin Feng would always find a way to coax her. But today, not only did he not comfort her, he even hit her. "Even my parents have never hit me." She got even angrier. "I only skipped school to go to Brother Song Fei's concert. That damn Qin Feng. If you don't apologize 1,000 times this time, I will never forgive you." Suddenly, Xiao Yu's face lit up with excitement. "It's a good thing I went to see Brother Song Fei yesterday. Otherwise, after this whole Divine Disassembly game thing, I'm afraid I wouldn't have had another chance." The image of her idol filled her mind. "We were standing so close to him yesterday." Xiao Yu blew a kiss dreamily. "Oh, Brother Song Fei." Tears of happiness streamed down her face. "I miss you so much." Suddenly, she exclaimed, "That's right." Xiao Yu's eyes sparkled. If sleeping means entering the game, then Brother Song Fei must be there too. She blushed, her heart pounding. "As long as I enter the game, I'll be able to find him." She quickly changed her clothes and made a plan. Zhang Wei reached level 3 so fast, he must be an expert. I have to ask him. Zhang Wei, who was surrounded by a crowd, received a message. "Expert Zhang Wei, do you have any strategies to teach me?" He smirked. "Oh, Qin Xiao Yu, the noble goddess is asking me for a strategy. What a heaven-sent opportunity." Thinking if he could win over Xiao Yu, he replied enthusiastically, You've asked the right person. Here's a secret. When you enter the game, Put all 5 of your initial attribute points into agility. Otherwise, if your speed is low, the monsters will wreck you. What if I'm a mage? Do I still need to increase agility? Xiao Yu asked. Jiang Wei replied, yes, agility isn't useless for the magic class. It increases casting speed, which is extremely important in the early stages. She continued, but what if I increase agility and still can't fight? Xiao Yu read the message, completely convinced. Jiang Wei texted, don't worry, Xiao Yu. When someone in town reaches level 5, the teleportation circle will light up. At that time, you can freely form a party to level up. When the circle is active, I'll find you and take you with me. Xiao Yu hugged her pillow dreamily. Great, these simps are useful after all. I found myself a meat shield. Qin Feng. You just keep acting high and mighty. By the time you enter the game, who knows how many levels I'll be ahead of you. Don't expect me to help you level up then. At this moment, Qin Feng was sitting in front of the light cores, holding up an item, a gold-grade cursed ring for all classes. All attributes +8, dark element resistance +26, weak point attack coefficient +0.1, requires B rank. He was impressed. +8 to each attribute is equivalent to 32 attribute points, comparable to another person's total attributes at level 3, and it even has dark element resistance, which is extremely useful when fighting monsters. The weak point attack coefficient from May 1st increases by 1.6 times. Not bad. He continued to check and found another item. Power exploded around him from the upgrade. Silver Grade Shadow Flash Slash, an assassin-type skill that dashes forward a maximum of 15 meters, then enters stealth for 5 seconds, delivering 3 slashes to all enemies in its path. The cooldown is 12 seconds, requires level 4, the slash width is 2.1 meters, and each slash adds 100 attack power. It's 100% considered a backstab, but it doesn't deal weak point damage. It's a super powerful AoE skill that lets you move while invisible. Learn! Qin Feng activated Greedy Hand. I still have a few evolution points, so I'll evolve Greedy Hand first. The system announced you have consumed 8 evolution points, with 4 points remaining. Greedy Hand has upgraded from Jade to Diamond. When this assassin-type skill is used on monster corpses, there is a 160 to 220% chance of receiving additional loot. The additional loot has a 20 to 40% chance of increasing by 1 grade. Qin Feng was thrilled with his exceptional rate of progress. Now, killing a monster guarantees 2 extra pieces of loot, making killing 1 monster equivalent to others killing 3. The remaining 4 evolution points are enough to upgrade Shield Shadow Slash to level 3. The system continued. You have consumed 3 evolution points, with 1 point remaining. He was a bit disappointed. It didn't reduce the cooldown time? What a bummer. But with Shield Shadow Slash, I've nearly achieved infinite invisibility. He opened his inventory to check. The remaining items were all junk, but this silver-grade Battlecry Warrior skill book could sell for a good price. Suddenly, a rustling sound came from behind as a group of monsters charged forward, attempting an ambush. Qin Feng calmly went into stealth. Level 4, Quadrupedal Climbers. You've come at the perfect time. I'll use you to test the power of Shield Shadow Slash. He dashed past them, unleashing a slash, and Shield Shadow Slash erupted with incredible speed and density, tearing the pack of monsters into hundreds of pieces. The system announced, you have defeated a level 4 quadrupedal climber, received 80 experience points, and received 5 days of tradable lifespan. As the monster corpses fell, Qin Feng returned to his normal state. His monster-killing efficiency had improved drastically. If he had used the hyper-toxic darts, he would have needed to throw at least 2 darts. With Shield Shadow Slash, the combat time was shorter, reducing the risk of surprises. Qin Feng carefully calculated. His current tradable lifespan was 618 days. To bring his equipment and skills into the real world, he needed at least 900 days. After going back to sell the items in his backpack, his tradable lifespan would be close to the minimum requirement. Once I reach level 10, I can extract skills and equipment into reality. While Qin Feng was lost in his daydreams, a loud shout suddenly echoed from a distance, making his ears twitch slightly. Someone announced excitedly, "Congratulations to the young miss for reaching level 3. So, isn't it time for her to fulfill her promise?" Just then, Li Zi and Mao Lijun's group suddenly appeared, looking just like a lost boss hunting party that had wandered in from nowhere. Li Zi quickly spoke up to reassure him, her voice firm and her expression radiating absolute confidence. "Don't worry, we at Jiangda Industries are more than capable of supporting you. So, shall we return to reality? Here is my phone number. You can call me directly. No need to go through an operator. Oh, by the way, how about you sell all of your lifespan to me today? We can start the transaction right now. I'll pay you a full 10,000 for each year of lifespan." As soon as Li Zi finished speaking, Mao Lijun nodded sharply, agreeing without a hint of hesitation. Seeing this, Li Zi immediately turned to leave, casually tossing back a remark that was both light and heavy. "Well then, We'll be waiting for you in reality. Meanwhile, Mao Lijun stood frozen, his mind spinning with strategic calculations. He told himself that even if this game truly affected one's lifespan, it wasn't worth worrying about. Lifespan was something that could always be grinded back. Only those like him, who knew how to turn gaming skills into real cash, were worthy of being called top-tier players with both dedication and vision. Afterwards, Qin Feng casually returned to town, looking calm on the outside despite feeling a bit anxious. He walked straight into the towering spire, which looked just like a giant candle, and silently observed what was ahead, maintaining a cool and stylish silence. A confident thought then flashed through his mind. This way, the teleportation circle in Seashell Town has been fully activated. Immediately, the system couldn't sit still and roared, "Congratulations on lighting up the town's return teleportation circle. You have received a huge reputation point and can teleport for free once per day. However, if you wish to teleport more often, you must pay with tradable lifespan." Currently, no other teleportation circles have been activated in Jianghai City. After reading that resounding yet blunt announcement, Qin Feng racked his brain and realized a difficult problem that everyone seemed to want to avoid. The town's teleportation circle was supposed to be two-way. If only one circle was lit, it was as useless as lighting a lamp in broad daylight. To be usable, other towns also had to reach level 5 and activate their own circles. Qin Feng suddenly remembered that in his past life, Song Fei from Firefly Town had managed to do it, so he immediately became determined. If someone in Firefly Town activates their teleportation circle one day, I'll be the first to know and seize the advantage. At this point, teleporting between towns still didn't offer any significant value. It was mostly just for show. Therefore, he set a grand goal for himself. He had to reach level 10 at all costs, and then head straight to the continent forsaken by the gods, where the real game would begin, no longer just a simple warm-up. Wasting no time, Qin Feng returned to the main street, where the crowd was still bustling with chatter. He began to set up his goods for sale, his shouts echoing louder than a crowded market. Selling equipment and skills, only for 10 minutes, first come, first served. Hearing this, the townspeople caused a commotion along the entire street, with some even shouting in excitement. "Oh my God, the Shadow Big Shot has appeared," another person excitedly yelled. "The Big Shot has finally shown himself. I've already prepared 150 days of lifespan, just waiting for him to drop his items so I can grab them." Someone recalling the recent past muttered. Last time, the Big Shot sold the Ice Cone skill, which made the Grey Rose Guild shoot up to second place on the leaderboards. Another person hoped, wishing for a skill book this time, for mages, but upon closer inspection, they realized there were only silver and crimson tier skill books for warriors. Instantly, someone wordlessly rushed forward, snatched a book, and declared loudly, "This crimson book is mine, no arguments." The system immediately clapped and announced, "The transaction is successful. You've received 300 days of transaction lifespan." Someone standing nearby saw this and asked curiously, "Geez, is it really worth spending 300 days of lifespan on a single skill book?" Another person immediately shot back, "That's so short-sighted. With this book, a warrior's monster grinding speed will double. 300 days of lifespan? You can earn that back in 2 days. What's the big deal?" The items vanished from the stall, faster than rumors spreading online. People were clamoring over each other. "I want that cloak. Those boots are mine. I'll just take everything to be safe." The transactions ended so quickly the system barely had time to blink. Qin Feng looked at the statistics panel, his heart soaring. He calculated silently. In just 1 short minute, everything had sold out, netting him a total of 650 days of lifespan. Now, his transaction lifespan had reached 2,174 days, but when he thought about closing the gap with the top players in terms of level, stats, class, equipment, and skills in this god-forsaken game, he still felt he was far behind. A few people who couldn't buy anything grumbled with long faces, just like fans who missed out on concert tickets. "This is the second time, and I've missed out both times. I did too." "Hey, expert, please sell more. I'm begging you. Will you sell here again next time? Give us the coordinates so we can camp out." While the crowd was still shouting, Dalizi emerged from the throng, waving and calling out, "Hey, expert, I've got a treasure here. Want to see?" She slowly took out a ring shimmering with a faint light. The information was clear. A space ring with 12 extra storage slots, which doesn't occupy a ring or backpack slot. Qin Feng's eyes widened at the high-quality item, his mind quietly calculating. A space ring? That's an incredibly rare storage item. It's valuable because it doesn't take up a backpack or equipment slot, and players can only carry a maximum of 3 backpacks. Although it can drop from any monster, the probability is so low you'd have better luck praying. This girl must have insane luck to have found one so early. In the past, a 12-slot ring like this once sold for over 3,600 days of lifespan. Curious, Qin Feng immediately turned and asked, "How are you planning to sell this?" The girl smiled and replied nonchalantly, "I don't want your lifespan, expert. I just want to be friends with you, and maybe you could help my team take down a boss." That sounded reasonable, so Qin Feng nodded and sent a friend request without hesitation. The system cheerfully announced, "Player Black Cloak and Dalizi have become friends." Qin Feng didn't let it rest, asking further, "So, which boss? What's its name?" She replied, "It's just a gold-tier boss. It's really far away." All you could see was a dilapidated boat moored in a swamp, looking utterly desolate. Hearing this, Qin Feng's heart suddenly started pounding. He muttered to himself, "A dilapidated boat? Could it be the Golden Ghost Ship?" According to his memories, the Golden Ghost Ship was a rare boss, harder to encounter than a real-life celebrity. It could appear at any level, but the probability was abysmally low. Not to mention it often dropped special, useful props that could turn even a grinder into a tycoon. Every time it appeared, guilds would rush in to fight over it. This boss usually only appeared in high-level towns, so encountering it this early was extremely rare. Moreover, this girl was part of Wang Mang's group, so she was clearly no ordinary player. The more Qin Feng thought, the more suspicious he became, a familiar name echoing in his mind. Could this girl be Jinli, the legendary koi from his past life? To verify, he decided to probe further. "How did you discover this gold-tier boss?" Dalizi shared without hesitation, her voice full of sincerity. "I logged out to have dinner, and when I logged back in, I planned to level up with my captain and the others, but they were so slow, slower than a snail's pace. I got bored, so with nothing to do, I just wandered around to enjoy the scenery. Who would have thought that at the bottom of a cliff, I'd stumble upon a gold-tier boss just appearing out of nowhere?" Hearing this, Qin Feng's mind raced. He silently recalled the rumors from his past life that someone in Wang Mang's team had a special aura. Whenever they wandered aimlessly, they'd inevitably run into rare bosses, treasures, or divine shrines. Back then, he thought those rumors were just a smokescreen created by the authorities to hide classified information. Who knew that he'd realize now that it was all true? It had to be her, no one else. At this point, Qin Feng suddenly fell silent, his face blank. Dalizi noticed and looked at him with a mix of curiosity and caution. "Expert, why are you staring at me so intensely?" He replied curtly, "It's nothing." And so, the two of them walked off together. But unbeknownst to them, not far away, a shady figure was lurking behind a bush, eavesdropping. After getting the gist of the situation, this person snuck away and hurriedly reported, "Boss, that kid is leading a girl out of town." Hearing this, the boss tilted his head arrogantly, his voice booming as he ordered his underlings. "Remember how I once led you brothers to conquer everything in our path, becoming the overlords of Sand City? Now, just follow me, and I guarantee you'll all eat well, dress well, and never have to suffer through grinding again." As soon as he finished, the boss grew even more resentful, shaking his head in frustration. "Just as I thought, that kid moves like lightning. He's already taking a girl with him. Where are my boys? Follow me and hunt them down now." Outside the town, Qin Feng looked at Dalizi and proposed, "I can help with the boss. If the boss drops any equipment or skill books you can use, I'll let you have them all. I'll take the rest. Is that okay?" Hearing this, Dalizi's jaw dropped, but she still nodded in response. "Huh? What about Captain Wang Mang and what about that other person?" "All right, we'll do it your way. But can I ask for one tiny condition?" Qin Feng asked curiously. Her team already has all the classes. "What if the boss drops assassin gear? Wouldn't my work be for nothing? Tell me your condition," Dalizi proposed, her voice full of sincerity. "If you sell gear to Captain Wang Meng and his team, could you give them a small discount?" Qin Feng nodded without a second thought. "No problem." Hearing his easy reply, she clapped her hands and cheered. "That's awesome! Then we'll set out as soon as Captain Wang Meng gets online." "Oh right, Master, where are we heading now?" Qin Feng answered clearly, "My Luo, we're on our way to take down a gold rank boss." Upon hearing this, Dalizi's face changed color faster than a cartoon transformation. She gripped her staff tightly. "Master, you're an assassin, and I'm a mage. You can go invisible and no one can touch you, but how am I supposed to survive?" Qin Feng replied calmly, "I'm more than enough to handle it alone. You just hide somewhere safe and enjoy the show." Dalizi blurted out, "Huh." She clutched her staff, trembling, and thought to herself, taking on a gold rank boss all by himself. "I know the master is a beast, but this is just way too over the top." Before she could even finish her thought, Qin Feng had vanished right before her eyes, without leaving a single trace. She looked around in a panic, calling out, "Master! Hey Master, where did you go?" Meanwhile, the group of followers behind them were still sneaking around. One of the underlings frantically reported, "Boss, that guy Shadow just vanished into thin air." The boss wasn't worried at all, even laughing heartily. "I guarantee he tricked that girl and ditched her, leaving her all alone in the wilderness. Go grab her, we'll have some fun first and figure out the rest later. I've told you before, follow me and you'll live the good life. You'll never be out of a job," he yelled, pointing. "Over there, that girl standing all alone, isn't that her?" His lackeys all chimed in. The boss is a strategic genius. But just as the group took a few steps, before they could even form a plan, Qin Feng suddenly appeared, blocking their path. Before they could even open their mouths, a thick black smoke enveloped them, plunging them into darkness. They saw nothing but the words "Game Over." Qin Feng didn't hesitate, coldly unleashing his shadow shield slash, decisively finishing them all off in an instant. The system promptly chimed in with its monotonous voice. "You have eliminated 5 players and received a total of 12 days of tradable lifespan." Qin Feng stood there watching the bodies disappear, sighing to himself, "Dirt poor. Killing these guys isn't even as profitable as hunting 2 mobs." Once finished, he returned to Dalizi. Seeing him, she asked in surprise, "Oh, master, where did you just go?" He shrugged lightly and said nonchalantly, "There were a few followers. I sent them back to the starter town for an early rest." After hearing that, she didn't say anything, just puffed out her cheeks and replied, "I thought you went to the bathroom." Then she continued, "Oh, by the way, master, now that you have an invisibility skill, it must be super convenient for bathroom breaks, right? You can just go wherever you want, and no one will see. But wait, if your gear is invisible, does that mean what comes out is also invisible?" Just as her bathroom philosophy was about to go too far, Qin Feng cut her off with a deadpan voice. "Take me to the boss you mentioned." Suddenly, the system, which had been lurking who knows where, abruptly cut in, transporting a girl to a strange village. She looked down at the staff in her hand, her eyes sparkling with emotion. As she walked, she examined the staff and exclaimed excitedly, "Wow, this is totally amazing. I can even feel the energy radiating from it." The surrounding villagers buzzed with excitement. "Boom, another new person, guys," she shouted joyfully. "This is great. I got the hidden class, Priestess of Life. It must be super strong. This way, I'll be a perfect match for Song Fei." She mumbled to herself, "I wonder how Song Fei is doing now. Did he figure out the secret to allocating initial stats?" But then, she suddenly thought of Qin Feng, and her attitude immediately soured. That bastard Qin Feng is probably hiding somewhere. All he does is sneak around, and he's never there when you need him. But it doesn't matter. Now I have a hidden class in Zhang Wei to help me level up. Qin Feng, you're on your own. I don't have time to care about you." A moment later, a glittering system notification popped up. She stared at it and exclaimed, "Is this the leaderboard?" Then her eyes widened. "Wow, Shadow is in first place, and he's already level 6. She glanced down and saw Zhang Wei languishing at level 3. She scowled and thought, "And this guy has the nerve to brag about his strength. Clearly, Shadow is the real top dog." She told herself, "If I could get Shadow's help, I'd level up in a flash. But the problem is, where do I find him?" As she was pondering, she noticed a group of young men chatting in the distance. A black-haired man grumbled, "Damn it, I can't get in touch with free-spirited wind at all." A gray-haired man chimed in, "We're dead for sure without a healer." The blonde guy shrugged, "We're not Shadow. We can't just solo everything with ease. I think we should just find another healer to team up with." Hearing their discussion, the girl had a brilliant idea. Without hesitation, she walked over and said loudly, "Hello, are you guys looking for a healer? I have the hidden class, Priestess of Life." Meanwhile, in a quiet, deep forest, Qin Feng was looking at a lake and suddenly exclaimed, "It really is the golden ghost ship." He immediately leaped off the cliff, without a moment's hesitation. Before leaving, he turned back to remind Dalizi, "You stay here and hide well. Be careful in case someone tries to ambush you. I'm going to take care of the boss." She nodded in agreement, not forgetting to remind him back, "All right, master, you be careful too." When he arrived, the system, which had been lurking, quickly popped up an urgent notification. Due to the influence of the ghost ship, this area has become a frenzy zone. The rate of lifespan decay has increased by 100 times. Qin Feng thought to himself, the rate of time flow is 100 times faster? By that calculation, every 15 minutes here costs 1 day of lifespan. Luckily, this temporary frenzy zone isn't too much of a problem. The system kept flashing a notification. Golden Ghost Ship, Special Gold Grade, Countdown 45 minutes. Qin Feng nodded, his mind racing as he calculated, thinking to himself, this special boss is on a timer, but 45 minutes is more than enough time. I can kill it and still have plenty of time to spare. Without hesitation, he immediately opened with a lightning-fast and deadly shield shadow slash. The monster took a devastating hit that shattered its bones, receiving 549 points of damage. Qin Feng didn't stop, continuing with a chain combo. This time he used Deadly Poison Dart, followed by a shadow-shattering strike to add some flair. The attack hit a weak spot, dealing a staggering 621 points of damage that startled the boss. In the heat of the fight, he discovered a shocking secret. The boss's real weak point wasn't its bones or the hull, but the demonic bell dangling from the bow. He yelled excitedly into the air. Its real weak spot is the demonic bell on the bow. After being hit in its vulnerable spot, the boss flew into a rage, its eyes glowing red. It manipulated the surrounding water to launch a wide-area attack. This water attack was no joke, dealing so much damage that in the early stages, only warriors in full silver-grade gear could take the hit without getting completely wrecked. Qin Feng inwardly sighed in relief, feeling fortunate. Thanks to the characteristic agility of his shadow class, he managed to dodge the danger. Otherwise, he'd be a corpse by now. Before he could even celebrate, the boss haughtily summoned 12 foul-smelling water demons, making the very air shimmer. Each of these minions was as strong as a silver-grade boss, making the situation critical. The water demons attacked wildly, disrupting his rhythm. Every minute, the boss summoned one more. If he didn't handle them fast, their numbers would grow to the point of overwhelming him. But Qin Feng was still brimming with confidence, thinking that with his stealth skill, it would be harder for these monsters to find me than to win the lottery. By choosing the right angle, he could take them down one by one with a single strike. Putting his thoughts into action, he unleashed his familiar shield shadow slash again. Not far away, someone was watching in silence, her eyes wide. Blackie, or more accurately, Black Bloom, watched and exclaimed emotionally, Is this really the #1 shadow class player from the leaderboards? The boss has already lost 1/3 of its health. He just keeps appearing and disappearing. Suddenly, Qin Feng turned and shouted, Blackie, I'm about to die, she asked in confusion. What? He replied calmly, without any emotion. You don't need to do anything. Just wait for me to revive, she stammered in a panic. Huh? Why, expert? You clearly have the upper hand, he retorted. Aren't you Blackie? She practically shouted. Good heavens, expert, my name is Black Bloom. Not Blackie. He nodded, his voice oddly calm. I know. Blackie. Meanwhile, in a nearby area, a group of people was aggressively giving chase, their faces filled with vengeful determination. Their leader snarled through gritted teeth. Damn it, I was a legendary champion from the village all the way to the provincial level, and now I'm getting humiliated by some punk. One of his lackeys came forward to report, Boss, we found the girl. She's at the edge of the cliff up ahead, and that shadow player is soloing a boss at the base of it. The leader's eyes narrowed as he hissed. Good. I'm calling all our guys this time. I refuse to believe we can't kill him. As the intense battle raged on, Qin Feng faced a new, frustrating challenge. He thought to himself, this is the 4th phase, and the most difficult one yet. The boss started to unleash a powerful soul wave, sweeping across the entire area. The effect was a 5-second immobilization debuff, leaving Qin Feng completely paralyzed. He thought to himself, there's no escaping this time. From above, Black Bloom watched silently, clutching her scepter with a pounding heart. Qin Feng braced himself, deciding to go for a mutual destruction final move against the boss, a do-or-die gamble. The system screamed its first warning, you have died. You have lost 326 years of non-tradable lifespan. Before he could catch his breath, a second notification chimed, you have died. You have lost 1,087 days of tradable lifespan. Up above, the enemy leader jumped for joy. Haha, this is awesome. That idiot thought he was some kind of superhero, trying to solo a gold-grade boss. He pointed at the boss's location and yelled, Whoa, that shadow dog was rich. Look at that huge orb of light. That's gotta be at least a few hundred days of lifespan. Let's go, men. The boss only has half its health left. Killing it will be a massive profit. His lackeys cheered. And we get to loot all that lifespan. That's only half of what he dropped. This big shot deserves to be taken down. Today, the little dogs are gonna eat the big dog. But as they were all cheering ecstatically, a massive glowing object descended from the sky, causing the celebrating group to freeze in their tracks. After a total party wipe, the entire group was sent on an involuntary trip back to the city, their faces pale. The survivors who respawned were livid, letting loose a flood of curses, son of a bee. How is that boss so freaking tough? That shadow player managed to chop off half its health, but we got instantly killed by a water pillar the moment we stepped into the swamp. The minions are as numerous as ants. How the hell are we supposed to fight this? Good grief, this is so unfair. One of the group members insisted aggressively. Damn it, we've already lost so much. But whatever, let's go back. I refuse to believe that thing is that broken. At the same time, a swarm of lifespan orbs materialized over the swamp. Qin Feng found this odd and went to take a closer look, suspecting something was off. After a moment of observation, he looked up and shouted towards a nearby boat. Black Bloom is over there. Right? I'm back. Hey Blackie, why is there a whole bushel of lifespan orbs here? Seeing him return, Black Bloom nodded and replied, You're back already, expert. Oh, a little while ago, a whole mob of people rushed in, only to be neatly sent back to town by a pillar of water. Hearing this, Qin Feng smirked and said, So that's what happened? Ha ha, those guys really don't know their own limits. At the same time, he recalled his memories of the Golden Ghost ship to analyze it. After some thought, he concluded that the ship could only use its immobilization skill once, and the rest of its health bar was manageable. However, once its HP dropped to half, it would activate a teleportation skill and move elsewhere, making it a real headache to kill. Just then, the golden ghost ship reappeared. Qin Feng suddenly got serious, stretching his arms and preparing to go all out. Without wasting a moment, he immediately pulled out a venomous dart, aimed for the bell on the ship's bow, and threw it, hitting his mark. He smirked, nodding in satisfaction as a pink mist immediately began to emanate from the ship, spreading throughout the swamp. Qin Feng crossed his arms, observing the mist's movement while whistling softly. After a few seconds of analysis, he confidently predicted its path and immediately began unleashing his shield shadow slash skill repeatedly. A group of people hiding in the distance saw this and whispered frantically, "Boss, look, that kid is soloing the boss again. All right, let's lie in wait and find a chance to ambush him." Dali glanced over, recognized the familiar group, and muttered, "These blockheads are back again. What a persistent nuisance. The master is about to finish the boss. I can't let them ruin this." Without hesitation, she began muttering an incantation, channeling all her energy into her staff. Sparks of lightning crackled from it as she thrust it upwards, shouting, "The gods decree there will be lightning today." A bolt of lightning struck down from the sky, striking the group of men and blasting 2 of them into oblivion. The remaining members screamed in panic, "Damn it, who's attacking us?" One of them pointed and shouted, "Boss, there's a mage over there. She's playing for keeps." The leader's eyes widened in rage. Spotting Dali, he roared, "Does that woman have a death wish? Get her for me now." Seeing this, Dali froze, her face turning pale, her limbs trembling. She clutched her staff tightly, turned, and fled faster than the wind, screaming as she ran, "Help me! Help me! Don't let me get roasted!" Behind her, the group gave chase relentlessly, their faces flushed with anger, roaring with determination. "Stop right there, or I'll kill you on the spot." Not far away, 2 figures hid behind a massive tree, watching silently. Their gazes were colder than ice, enough to give anyone who glanced their way goosebumps and send a shiver down their spine. Meanwhile, Qin Feng was still focused on his attacks, relentlessly striking the boss, causing its health to plummet without stopping. Seeing the boss gradually weaken, he thought to himself that it was finally about to go down. The Golden Ghost Ship boss was truly different, even at only level 5. Soloing it was a tough challenge. The damage Qin Feng was dealing was still too low, which dragged the fight out and attracted a number of unwelcome onlookers. While fighting the boss, his sharp eyes scanned the surroundings, quickly spotting the lurkers. He immediately began to strategize. On the cliff, there was a familiar-looking group, probably the ones who had been sent back by the water pillar earlier. Near the swamp, another guild was also lying in wait, looking for an opportunity. Qin Feng glanced around and smirked, thinking to himself that they were probably just waiting for him to finish the boss so they could rush in, kill him, and steal the loot. A clever idea, but unfortunately for them, they had completely miscalculated. Without a word, he suddenly unleashed his hidden shadow skill with absolute precision, finishing off the boss in an instant and causing the entire map to shake violently. A series of system notifications rang out. "You have defeated the gold-grade Golden Ghost Ship. You have received 4,800 experience points. Congratulations, you have reached level 8. You have been awarded 7 evolution points. You have received 216 days of tradable lifespan." Before that could even sink in, another bright notification appeared. Player Shadow from Seashell Town is the first on the server to defeat a gold-grade boss and has received 3 reputation points. This news spread like wildfire through the town, making everyone stop what they were doing to listen. The populace buzzed with chatter. A gold-grade boss? This is the first time anyone's ever taken one down. Good heavens, is this Shadow guy a monster in human disguise or something to be so overpowered? Which nation did Seashell Town originally belong to anyway? The first person to defeat a gold-grade boss must be an expert from our very own South Korea. But while everyone was marveling in admiration, someone was annoyed, specifically Qin Xiao Yu. When she heard the news, her heart was in turmoil. She thought to herself that there was truly nothing this Shadow couldn't do. If she could get his help, leveling up would be a breeze, and maybe she could even meet Brother Song Fei. Although the boss was defeated and loot was scattered everywhere, strangely, Qin Feng was nowhere to be seen at the scene. A guild that had been hiding nearby saw this and became ecstatic, cheering breathlessly. "Ha ha, this boss dropped some insane loot. That other guy must have gotten spooked and ran off. He didn't even dare to pick anything up." A man in the group immediately gave an order. "Guang, use your skill to track that guy down, kill him, and we'll claim all this loot for ourselves." Following the order, Guang stepped forward confidently. He puffed out his chest and shot an arrow into the sky with a majestic pose. Before long, a giant eagle descended from the sky, looking cool and menacing to the bone. It was the wraith-horned eagle. The bird began to circle in the air, its sharp eyes scanning every bush and rock, searching for Qin Feng's location. Hidden in the tall, dense grass, Qin Feng remained silently in stealth mode, calmly watching the scene unfold. his eyes following the circling bird. The situation seemed tense, but he remained completely calm, not breaking a sweat, as he silently analyzed the wraith-horned eagle. I can't believe this hunter learned an anti-stealth skill so early. Impressive. No wonder he's arrogant enough to try and kill me for my loot. He smirked slightly, adding in his mind, too bad my shadow class has a superior stealth skill. 11, plus a level 1 resistance. They could call on all their ancestors and still wouldn't find me. After searching high and low with no results, one of the guys reported in frustration, "Boss, we can't find anything. That kid probably saw our numbers, got scared, and ran off." The boss nodded and concluded, "Fine, I guess he knows his place." He then solemnly led the group towards the pile of loot. He ordered clearly, as if giving a speech, "Move it. We have to guard this stuff closely, no letting our guard down, and be ready for a fight at any moment. The protection period for ownership rights is only 5 minutes. After that, this loot officially becomes ours. It's a done deal." Hearing this, the whole group nodded excitedly. Everyone thought they were about to hit the jackpot with no chance of failure, but life is never that easy. Just as they were getting excited and before they could divide the spoils, a barrage of ranged attacks suddenly rained down on them, hitting the entire group and sending their heads spinning. Qin Feng appeared from behind like a phantom. He gently tapped each one on the shoulder with his superior skills, then sent the whole crew back to town on a one-way ticket. Once it was done, he stood in the middle of the empty forest, looked at the pile of items, and smacked his lips. "It's much quieter around here now, huh?" Suddenly, he remembered something, scratching his head and muttering, "Oh, I forgot. Where did that girl Xiao Hei go? Well, I can look for her later." He seriously calculated in his head that the remaining evolution points, plus the ones he just got from the boss, were just enough to level up Greedy Hand one more time. First, I'll upgrade the skill, then I'll deal with the corpses. With that thought, he acted. He reached out and immediately activated the skill evolution. The system instantly announced, Greedy Hand has upgraded from Diamond grade to Epic grade. The Assassin-type skill's chance of receiving bonus rewards increases from 220% to 300%. Bonus items received have a 100% chance of being upgraded. Reading this, Qin Feng's eyebrows shot up, his eyes gleaming as he thought, "My God, this is a divine transformation. I have to make this whole pile of loot orbs explode with goodies." Without hesitation, he immediately used the new skill, sucking up all the loot before letting out a hearty laugh that echoed through the sky. "Haha, where's all the stuff? Come to me!" Instantly, a surge of power erupted in the middle of the forest, causing even the trees to tremble. The system, not to be outdone, chimed in repeatedly with a combo of notifications. "You have used the skill Greedy Hand. You have received 7 evolution points. You have received 216 days of tradable lifespan. You have received the special item, Ghostfire Spirit Bell." Qin Feng held the item, his eyes shining as he blurted out a sentence, unable to hide his joy. "I can't believe I got 2 Ghostfire Spirit Bells in one go. Huh? Wow." The information appeared. Ghostfire Spirit Bell, a special item that prevents lifespan loss upon death when carried. Cooldown, 1,800 seconds, now 1,565 seconds. Soul Absorption, passive. Increases the lifespan drop rate from demonic beasts by 20%. If you have 2 bells, the effect is doubled. Soul Shock, active. Using the bell immobilizes enemies within a 100-meter radius for 3 seconds. Cooldown, 600 seconds, now 521 seconds. Qin Feng nodded as he read and calculated. This isn't an equipped item, so it doesn't take up an equipment slot, and 2 bells only take up 1 inventory slot. Unbelievably convenient. Just as he was lost in thought, a blood-curdling scream echoed from the distance. "Master! Master, help me! What are you people doing? Don't you dare come any closer!" Qin Feng jumped in shock and yelled out, "Xiao Hei! Where are you?" He continued to shout, "Xiao Hei, where are you? Say something." But only the panicked cries of Da Lizi echoed back, "Get away from me! Don't come near me." Meanwhile, the men closing in on her were panting heavily, their eyes filled with malicious intent as they smirked. "Come on, sweetie. You look pretty strong, but stop struggling. You're cornered. Be a good girl, and we'll show you a real good time." Delizy clutched her magic staff, her eyes cold. She took a step back, then suddenly turned and leaped off the cliff, leaving the entire group stunned in place. That act was her final decision. She would rather die than submit. Her body fell onto the rocks below, the impact echoing as blood splattered everywhere, making the scene heart-wrenching. The group above stood looking down. They were speechless. One of them sighed softly and said, "She really jumped. Was that girl really that stubborn?" After her decisive leap that stunned everyone, Da Lizi respawned in town. She clutched her side, limping and wincing in pain. "Master, you don't need to come save me. I died and I'm already back in town. Ouch, it hurts so much." Luckily, the whole team's tradable lifespan was held by our team leader, Wang Mang. Otherwise, we would have lost it all. Qin Feng heard her and nodded. Got it. Just stay put. I'll split the loot with you when I get back. Hearing this, the girl bit her lip and broke into a radiant smile. She replied hurriedly, Thank you, master. You've worked so hard. Afterwards, Qin Feng opened his status window, muttering in a voice filled with excitement. This haul is massive. His tradable lifespan had shot up to 3,175 days, plus another 21 evolution points. He decided to upgrade Greedy Hand again. He pressed the skill upgrade button, and the system immediately displayed a surprising notification. The skill Greedy Hand has reached epic grade. To evolve it further requires 10 times the evolution points. Do you wish to use 27 points to continue? Qin Feng looked at the text and frowned. He considered it carefully. Damn, 210 evolution points? That's a tough pill to swallow. The higher the skill level, the more points it costs. I'll stop upgrading this for now and put the points into a damage skill instead. With high damage, any boss will fall, and the loot will just fall into my hands. With that thought, he immediately focused on allocating his points, decisively upgrading his skills. The system instantly provided information down to the finest detail. The skill Shield Shadow Slash went from Platinum grade to Jade grade, and then straight to Diamond grade. Maximum damage increased from 21 to 24, then jumped to 27. Stealth duration increased from 7 seconds. The duration increased to 8, and finally 9 seconds. The number of slashes on enemies in its path increased from 6 to 7. The cooldown remained at 12 seconds. The slash range expanded from 3.1 meters to 3.6, and then to 4.1 meters. Each slash added 200, then 250, and finally 300 attack power. In total, he consumed 2, then 3, and then 5 evolution points, leaving him with just a meager 3 points. Next, he enthusiastically upgraded his backstab enhancement skill from normal to bronze tier, then to silver, and finally reaching gold tier. The passive effect improved accordingly. The damage from behind increased from 15% to 20%, then 25%, finally hitting the 30% mark. Feeling the smooth upgrade, Qin Feng clapped, laughing so loudly that even the wind seemed to listen. After 2 evolutions, his Shadow Shield Slash was more than twice as powerful. It could deal 3,000 damage without even using or breaking stealth. If he used it to break stealth and backstab, the 7 slashes could easily reach 6,000 to 7,000 damage. He mentally reviewed his achievements, excitedly summarizing, a gold tier boss usually only drops 2 to 4 silver tier items, and rarely a gold tier one. But thanks to his greedy hands, he had snagged 11 gold tier items, 2 platinum tier items, and even a platinum tier skill book. Among them were 3 items for the assassin class, which he could use right away, no adjustments needed. He opened his interface, summoned the 3 new items, and examined each one with delight. The first was the Ghost Ship's Twin Daggers, a platinum tier assassin weapon. It added 136 attack power, 22 agility, 24% attack speed, and 7 armor penetration. It required level 5, and its special effect was that each basic attack dealt an additional instance of damage. Examining it closely, Qin Feng commented thoughtfully, his face contemplative. The additional damage effect sounds ordinary, but the high base attack power, plus the boost to agility, attack speed, and armor penetration, make it quite valuable. The second item was the gold tier Ghostfire armor. It gave plus 25 physical defense, plus 50 fire resistance, plus 14 damage block, and an additional 419 health. It required level 5, and Qin Feng nodded in approval as he read the stats. He whispered, I haven't put any points into Constitution, so I only have 350 health. This armor adds a whopping 419 health. With this on, who could possibly break through my defenses? He decided to hide all his new equipment in his interface to avoid attracting attention. The system notified him that there was one last item. It was the gold tier Vague Ghost Shadow skill book. It was a passive assassin skill that increased his evasion rate by 15%. When an evasion was triggered, it granted immunity to all damage. Qin Feng glanced at the description, nodding and muttering with mixed feelings. Finally got a decent assassin skill, but this skill was strangely weak in the game. The evasion rate was hard to increase, and you had to sacrifice a ton of other stats to boost it. If you failed to evade, it was game over. But our guy wasn't one to accept a disadvantage, and a brilliant idea immediately flashed in his mind. I'm not like other people. I have the infinite evolution skill. Increasing my evasion without sacrificing other stats is the ultimate life hack. After carefully checking everything, he prepared to return to town, planning to sell some equipment to lighten his load, muttering his calculations as he walked. It's time to head back. I can sell the warrior, priest, and archer items to Wang Meng at a 10% discount. Even though that group is dirt poor right now, with Wang Meng's character, selling to him on credit is fine. Thinking back, it was all thanks to Xiao Hei. If it weren't for this carp, he would never have found the level 5 gold tier ghost ship, let alone defeated it. I have to give her a huge thanks for this. Just as he finished his thought, before he even made it back to town, Qin Feng ran into a group of old acquaintances, lurking behind a tree with grim expressions. Their eyes met instantly. The group yelped in shock. Ah! Without even a greeting, they turned tail and fled, shouting as they ran, "It's Shadow! Run for it, everyone!" Without a word, Qin Feng immediately unleashed his Shadow Shield slash. The group descended into chaos, screaming wildly, "Don't get in my way! Oh God, don't leave me behind! Damn it, stay away from me! Help me! Someone save me!" Looking at the chaotic scene, Qin Feng snorted coldly, emitting a sharp killing intent. Not letting the situation drag on, he unleashed a lightning-fast Shadow Shield slash. In a flash, the entire group vanished without a sound, leaving only their leader standing alone, his face pale and his heart pounding out of his chest. He trembled and fell to his knees, begging tearfully, "I was wrong. I swear I'll never do it again. Please spare me." "Great master, sir. I only have 1 year of lifespan left." But Qin Feng stepped forward and asked slowly, his voice chilling him to the bone, "When you were out harming others, did you ever think this day would come?" Without waiting for an answer from that trembling mouth, he decisively struck him down. The system immediately displayed a flashy notification. Because the player has actively killed too many people, you have received the mass murderer status. At his current level, death would result in a loss of 75% of his lifespan. Qin Feng just snorted lightly, thinking to himself, "It doesn't matter. I have 2 Ghostfire Spirit Pills. Even if I happen to die once, my lifespan will remain completely intact." Afterwards, he leisurely returned to town, smoothing his hair as he walked, not a speck of dust or a drop of blood on him. The townspeople saw the familiar figure and immediately gathered to gossip excitedly. "Hey, it's Shadow. That's insane. He already killed the gold-tier boss and came back." "Huh? Why doesn't he look like he's wearing any good gear?" "Haha, I bet this guy just got lucky and kill-stole the boss. He doesn't look like someone who could solo it." "I don't see any drops on him either. That's hilarious." "Yeah, go try and get lucky like him if you're so bored." Just then, someone suddenly stepped out to block Qin Feng's path, their face full of urgency. "Big Brother Shadow, please wait a moment." The person hurriedly presented a shimmering book and said quickly, "We were wrong earlier. This is an assassin-class skill book. We just used our lifespan to buy it. We hope you'll accept it and let what happened earlier slide." Qin Feng took the book and glanced at the information that appeared. Normal tier ambush, an assassin skill that targets a single enemy, adds 20 attack power, and deals a 2-second stun with a 2-second cooldown. He nodded, smacking his lips. "So it's a crowd control skill? Pretty decent." Without another word, he quietly walked away, leaving behind looks of regret mixed with anxiety. As his figure disappeared, a guy in the group burst out in frustration. "Young Master Xian, he wiped us all out, and now we even have to hand over a skill book to him. Isn't that just pathetic?" Another one nodded, adding fuel to the fire. "Exactly. We've never been this spineless before. If we each call a few of our contacts, we could crush him in an instant. Why are we acting so scared?" While the group was seething and plotting, one guy suddenly put on a mysterious air and warned, "What do you guys know? That Shadow player is growing way too fast, constantly leveling up all by himself. He obviously has a huge secret. If we can just find him in the real world and lock him up, we can not only extract his secret but also easily force him to farm lifespan points for all of us." Hearing this, another guy's eyes lit up with a sinister grin. "Oh, so that's the plan, as expected of the brilliant young Master Xian." Then he eagerly added, "When I get back, I'll have my family send a stunningly beautiful girl to get close to him and dig for information." His voice sounds unfamiliar. He's definitely an outsider, not one of us. If we send a beauty right to his doorstep, there's no way he won't fall for it. While the other group was busy scheming, Qin Feng had met up with Dalizi again. He smiled slightly and said, "All right, Xiaohei, get ready to trade. I've got some items for you." The girl shook her head in confusion. "Thank you so much, Big Shot, but I'm not Xiaohei, I'm Dalizi." Suddenly, a brilliant flame erupted from the staff in her hand. She shot up, levitating in midair, and exclaimed, "Whoa, this is totally awesome. I feel like I can fly! This skill and this necklace have multiplied my damage output. My mana recovery has doubled too. Big Shot, thank you. I'm so incredibly touched." Qin Feng remained calm and replied softly, "Don't mention it. But as we agreed, I'll take the spatial ring now." The girl nodded eagerly and hurriedly handed it over. "Oh, right, here you go. Here it is," she then added casually. "By the way, Big Shot, while I was running through the forest, I found a cave that looked exactly like the entrance to some ruins. Do you want to go check it out?" Hearing that, Qin Feng paused for 3 seconds as a thought flashed through his mind. First, the gold-grade ghost ship, and now ruins. Man, befriending this girl is a huge win. But then again, I didn't get this for free. I had to give her 2 gold-grade items for her to share this valuable information. With this spatial ring, my storage space has jumped to 27 slots. Sweet. He then asked, so where's Wang Meng? I was planning to go to the ruins with you after I sell some items to everyone. Dalizi replied immediately, sounds good, but our team leader is recruiting a new priest. He'll probably be back in about an hour and a half. She opened her map, marked the location, and pointed as she explained in detail. I've marked the entrance to the ruins for you. There's a stone slab behind a bush. I pushed the slab aside back then and hid inside to escape, but I only took a few steps before I heard ghostly screams echoing from within, so I got scared and ran right back out. Otherwise, those guys would never have caught up to me. Qin Feng nodded and replied, I get it. I'll head to the ruins right now. I'll trade with Wang Mang and the others when I get back. Da Lizi was about to say something else, but before she could even open her mouth, Qin Feng had vanished. She stood there, stunned, and blurted out, huh, where did the big shot go? At that moment, Qin Feng was already following the directions straight to the ruins, his eyes gleaming. He wasn't smiling, but he was thrilled inside. As he walked, he pondered, I was originally planning to find a spot to grind levels, but now that there are ruins, why bother searching? Towns usually have 3 types of ruins: tombs, cursed ruins, and faith shrines. Whatever type it is, whether the monsters inside are bronze or silver grade, to me they're just a treasure trove of evolution points and lifespan points. Nothing to worry about. Qin Feng followed the directions, cautiously making his way to a desolate area. Before him was a deep pit, so deep it looked like one wrong step would send you plummeting to the bottom. He took a breath and began to descend, his face calm and composed. As he carefully took each step, Qin Feng was busy calculating in his head. Theoretically, towns like this usually have 3 types of ruins. The first is tombs, the second is cursed ruins, and the third is faith shrines, though it's unclear whether they're genuinely sacred or just a scam. Tombs, needless to say, are never a pleasant experience. They're teeming with monsters, making them difficult to clear. On top of that, there's usually a gold-grade boss waiting at the end, as if daring you to try. Qin Feng continued to recall the lore. Monsters in cursed ruins are usually afflicted by a vicious curse from an evil ancient god. They might have once been people, perhaps students who went insane, or simply died and turned into ghouls. As for the monsters in faith shrines, they are all fanatical followers of ancient or evil gods. The layout inside these shrines is a confusing maze, and if you get lost, you might never find your way out. Qin Feng continued his dungeon-crawling adventure, scanning his surroundings as he went, when his eyes were suddenly drawn to some carvings on the stone walls. Unable to contain his rising curiosity, he stopped to stare intently at the images. Qin Feng muttered, looking at these carvings, this is definitely a faith shrine. This image is very familiar. I can't be mistaken. This is a faith shrine dedicated to judging ancient gods. Qin Feng proceeded without hesitation, continuing deeper inside. The air grew heavy and cold, accompanied by eerie whispers from the walls. Go any further and you'll never get out. But he ignored them and kept walking, completely unfazed. Meanwhile, in another secret realm where drama was about to erupt, Wang Mang's group was in a life-or-death struggle with a monster. The monster gave no warning, with lightning speed, charging straight forward with its massive maw wide open. A single impact was enough to send Wang Mang flying into the air. At that moment, Qin Xiao Yu stood frozen, holding her magic staff as if it were a mop. A party member yelled, Healer, heal him now. What are you spacing out for? Qin Xiao Yu finally dragged herself over to Wang Mang, stammering cluelessly as she asked, okay, but what do I do? Before anyone could catch their breath, the monster charged again. A party member lost his cool, shouting, damn it, it's coming again. Then he whipped around to confront Qin Xiao Yu. Just use a skill, press any button. But Qin Xiao Yu left the entire party speechless. She looked around and then dropped her magic staff. After that, she crouched down, her voice trembling. I'm scared. Guess what happened? That's right, the entire party was mercilessly wiped out, sent back to town at the speed of light, and filled with deep shame. Dalizi appeared, flashing a bright smile, and made some small talk. Hey, Captain, how come you guys are back so soon? The Great Shadow Lord isn't back yet, so if you want to buy anything, forget it. A party member was fuming, pointing directly at Qin Xiao Yu and chewing her out. For crying out loud, I've never seen anyone as useless as you. You don't know how to dodge when a monster charges, and you don't know how to use skills. Tell me, what can you even do? Dalizi immediately went into protective mode, stepping in front of Qin Xiao Yu. Hey now, why are you being so harsh? You can tell she's a newbie. It's normal to die once your first time playing, but the other member wouldn't let it go, shouting louder than a town crier. Dalizi, get out of the way. I'm going to chew this person out today. Another member chimed in, his voice out of patience. It wasn't just once, Dalizi. We've died 3 times in less than an hour. Dalizi's eyes widened, and she could only utter a single word. Huh? After a few seconds of processing the drama, Dalizi confidently suggested, all right, let me tag along to make sure things go smoothly. I just got 2 awesome items from the Great One, so I'm super strong now. Trust me, With me along, no one will die this time. Wang Mang waved his hand to cut the drama short. All right, that's enough out of both of you. Dalizi's idea wasn't bad. With her joining them, this run would surely go smoothly. Who knows, maybe they'd even run into the Great Shadow Lord when they returned and could ask for a few tips. At that moment, Qin Xiao Yu spoke up in a small voice. I'm sorry, I'll try my best. But inwardly she was thinking, you think I'm weak? If it weren't for your connection to the Great Shadow Lord, I wouldn't even bother babysitting you lot. Fuming, she thought they were all an insufferable bunch of losers. Meanwhile, on the other side, Qin Feng continued his adventure, stepping into a secret underground chamber from which a bone-chillingly sinister aura emanated. The scene inside was enough to make even the calmest person want to scream. Bones were scattered everywhere, and the air echoed with gut-wrenching, mournful cries. Qin Feng didn't bother with pleasantries. He just got straight to business. Without another word, Qin Feng launched an attack, not giving the cultists a chance to do their monologue, but their reaction made him furious. They took the hit but lost only a sliver of health, like he was just scratching an itch on their side. Qin Feng gritted his teeth, calculating that even using a stealth-breaking backstab only took half their health. As expected of level 10 silver-grade bosses, these two cultists combined had more health than the gold-grade ghost ship boss. But before he could land a second blow, the two cultists suddenly dropped to their knees. Qin Feng was startled, muttering, "What the hell? Why are they kneeling? And they're even facing my direction, even though I'm in stealth. Could they have sensed the divine artifact, the Eye of Judgment, on me?" He stared at the two figures with their faces pressed to the ground and said, "You know the way, right? Then lead me the way." But the two cultists only let out muffled groans. Qin Feng observed them, shook his head, and thought, they must be heavily corrupted. They've lost all consciousness. Now they're just beasts who know nothing but pillaging and taking lives. Just then, the two cultists suddenly let out a deafening shriek, jumped to their feet, and fled the room without a second glance, as if to say, "Sorry, our shift is over." In another corner of the map, a party of players was cautiously making their way inside. The moment they saw the two cultists charging toward them, they screamed in terror, "Watch out! Monsters are coming!" One of the party members slapped his forehead and yelled, "Oh my god, it's two silver-grade bosses! We can't even handle one, and now there are two of them. Let's run." In the ensuing chaos, a girl from the party was hit by a strange aura and vanished, leaving behind a pile of dropped items. Qin Feng appeared, witnessing the scene and thinking to himself, "This is the party of the girl who bought my Ice Cone skill book. I think her name was Grey Rose. I didn't expect them to make it this far, but with their current gear, no one should be strong enough to venture this deep." Qin Feng walked over to the dropped loot, snapping his fingers with a smirk. Ah, she dropped over 100 days of tradable lifespan. Who would have guessed she was a secret sugar mommy? But his joy didn't last long. After searching every nook and cranny, Qin Feng sighed and muttered, "I've turned this whole room upside down and found nothing. No traps, no treasures. Could it be that there are only these two pathetic silver-grade bosses here?" He clenched his fists, his battle lust surging, and prepared for a merciless showdown. And just like that, the two cultists were completely annihilated. The system announced, "You have killed a loyal cultist of the old god, a silver-grade judged one. You have received 4,000 experience points, leveled up to level 9, received 4 evolution points, and received 188 days of tradable lifespan." Without wasting a moment, Qin Feng immediately upgraded his greedy hand skill. Happily admiring the brand new skill panel, he chuckled to himself. The transcendent grade greedy hand is truly amazing. 32 evolution points, 154 days of tradable lifespan, 4 gold grade items, 10 silver grade items, and even a gold grade piece of gear for assassins. This is awesome. A gleaming notification appeared on his screen. Cultist's necklace, gold grade, assassin accessory, agility. Plus 15, cooldown speed plus 20%, requires level 7. Unique effect, summons a loyal silver tier believer to fight for you. 600-second cooldown. Qin Feng inspected the necklace thoroughly, nodding to himself. This one's solid. With a 20% cooldown reduction, stealth will be down to 192 seconds, venomous dart to 37 seconds, and shadow shield slash to 88 seconds. Future boss fights will be twice as smooth, keeping it as a no-brainer. But before he could even take a breath, a strange sound from behind made him whip around. A glowing circle appeared, and then a massive iron pillar rose from the ground. Qin Feng snapped his fingers smugly. "Just as I thought. Clear out the monsters in here, and the mechanism reveals itself." He walked closer, patting the cold iron surface. After a few seconds of inspection, he confirmed, here it is, the final hidden mechanism. A sharp click echoed, signaling that something was happening. The ground beneath Qin Feng began to shift. As it rumbled, he immediately switched into full observation mode, his eyes wide, watching every movement intently, his face tense, Suddenly, a massive pit opened up at his feet. Without hesitation, Qin Feng jumped in, muttering, "Is this supposed to be an elevator?" The platform moved for a while, and then stopped. With no siren, no warning lights, and no background music, Qin Feng stretched, shaking his head and sighing. Finally arrived. Felt like I dropped a good 300 or 400 meters. What a super deep underground journey. He looked up at the ceiling, half surprised and half wary. Before him now was a winding, intricate maze. He blurted out in surprise, "A hidden maze beneath the temple?" Qin Feng moved forward to investigate, his internal monologue kicking in. Ruins have a chance to contain hidden mazes. I found quite a few in my past life. Mazes are full of traps, but if you have someone to act as a meat shield, exploring isn't too dangerous, just a bit time-consuming. With my current stats, stepping on a trap would mean getting wrecked. Luckily, I just got my hands on this OP item. He pulled out the Believer's Necklace to inspect it again. Gold-tier Believer's Necklace. An accessory for assassins. Agility plus 15. Cooldown speed plus 20%. Requires level 8 to activate the exclusive effect, summoning a devout silver-tier believer ready to fight for you. Cooldown time is 600 seconds. Without hesitation, Qin Feng immediately cast the skill. A believer emerged from a brilliant flash of light, slowly kneeling with absolute reverence. Qin Feng gestured with his hand, his voice calm. "Go forward and scout the path for me." The creature silently crawled away without a word of protest. Qin Feng crossed his arms and watched, a slight smirk on his lips. The feeling of having a subordinate lead the way put him much more at ease. However, this maze was far from friendly, filled with dangers. To ensure his safety, he decided to prioritize upgrading his evasion skill first. Without hesitation, Qin Feng poured in his evolution points, using 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 5 points, with 24 points remaining. The result was the skill, Phantom Haze, a transcendent gold-grade skill. This is a passive skill, increasing the evasion rate from 15% to 75%. When successfully activated, he becomes completely immune to all damage. After reading the description, Qin Feng was so excited he wanted to dance on the spot. He pondered thoughtfully, "A 75% evasion rate is already impressive, but with my remaining points, I can also upgrade the Shadow Shield / skill to Transcendent." Without blinking, Qin Feng immediately invested 13 evolution points, leaving him with exactly 11. The Shadow Shield / skill had now reached the Transcendent Diamond grade. This skill allows him to launch a slash in a designated direction, with a range of 27 to 30 meters, accompanied by an afterimage that lasts for 9 to 12 seconds, dealing continuous damage with 7 slashes to all enemies within range. Each slash is 4 to 5 meters long, with damage increased from 300 to 500 points per hit. Just hearing about it made Qin Feng eager to test it out immediately. After the upgrade spree, he paused to contemplate the skill evolution mechanism. A few truths began to crystallize in his mind. He told himself, if a skill starts at the Transcendent grade, upgrading it to Legendary only costs 1 point for the first level, which is an unbelievable saving. He continued to analyze logically and scientifically. To reach the Legendary grade, the required points are 10 times the base amount. Low-grade skills need to be upgraded multiple times, which can consume hundreds of points. But with my ability, I can raise skills to the Transcendent grade at a minimal cost. From now on, all my skills will start at Transcendent grade or higher. With his remaining 11 points, he decided to pump them into the Stealth skill. Without any hesitation, he hit the Confirm button. You have consumed 3 plus 5 evolution points, leaving 3 points remaining. The Stealth skill jumped from Silver grade to Gold grade, then reached Platinum. The skill now allows him to become invisible for 16 to 24 seconds, and breaking stealth increases damage by 90 to 150 points. The cooldown was reduced to 22 seconds. Qin Feng thoughtfully calculated that with his 35% cooldown reduction, the actual time was only 16.3 seconds. However, he still felt the cooldown was a bit long, and the stealth break damage wasn't truly impressive. He thought to himself, when I get back, I definitely need to overhaul this entire skill set. Lost in thought, a monster in the distance stepped onto a large, desk-sized floor tile. As soon as it set foot on it, the ceiling shook violently and cracked open. A giant stone sphere plummeted from above, crushing the monster and ending its career in an instant. Qin Feng leaped to the scene, observed, then shook his head and declared, "The summon is toast. I'll just wait for the cooldown and summon a new one. This maze is tricky and full of deadly traps. The only way is to proceed step by step and hope to find some good loot." Meanwhile, on the upper floor of the temple, the atmosphere was tense. The remaining group of players was still searching for a mysteriously missing member. One person from the group hurried over, reporting clearly, "Captain, I've checked thoroughly. Those 2 monsters have really disappeared." After hearing this, Grey Rose's voice caught as she asked back, "What did you say?" She calmly walked to the center of the hall, raised her hand, and, declaring, "Our lifespans are gone too. Someone must have defeated those two bosses and taken the whole group's lifespans. But who could possibly be strong enough to do that?" a team member quickly deduced. At this stage of the game, the only one who could take down two silver rank bosses that quickly could only be the Shadow Overlord. Hearing this, the other's eyes widened in astonishment. Wait, so the Shadow Overlord was really here? Does that mean he took all of our lifespans? Grey Rose sighed and nodded in confirmation. It seems so, but thinking back, it was a good thing. Otherwise, you all would have died again. She rested her chin on her hand, looking thoughtful. When I first got here, I caught a glimpse of a figure, and it looked like he was talking to the monsters. Could that have been the Shadow Overlord? What kind of skill does he possess to pull the bosses into a vortex like that? His power is unfathomably deep. Just witnessing it sends a shiver down my spine. Returning to Qin Feng, he patiently continued to summon his followers to act as scouts. Unfortunately, each follower would appear, take a few steps, hit a trap, and vanish silently. A true army of short-lived followers. After struggling for a while, Qin Feng finally arrived before an ancient wooden door. He looked at the door, clicked his tongue, and thought, after walking for 3 whole hours, I've finally made it. This must be the end of the labyrinth. Based on his experience from his past life, if he rushed in recklessly, death was certain. It wouldn't be surprising to die even 100 times. Without hesitation, Qin Feng summoned another follower. Even though he knew this one was on a one-way trip, the job of scouting for traps required a sacrifice. One man and one follower approached the large door, which was as imposing as the gate to a university exam hall. They crossed a path full of mind-bending traps, with every step making their hearts pound. When they arrived, Qin Feng signaled to the follower, his voice firm, "Go open the door for me, no questions asked." The follower obediently pushed the door, but despite all its effort, the door didn't budge an inch, making the follower break out in a sweat with no one to call for help. Qin Feng frowned and muttered, "It won't open? How strange." He stepped forward, placed his hand on the door, and gathered his strength, preparing to give it a determined shove. The door creaked softly and then swung open, without any shouting or fanfare. It just opened wide. Qin Feng was a bit surprised, his serious expression turning into a look of bewilderment. It was that easy? He continued to scan the space behind the door, his eyes darting around. As the two of them stepped inside, they came across a tightly locked chest wrapped in sharp, barbed wire. After observing for a moment, Qin Feng paused, deep in thought. That chest was covered in sharp thorns, locked tight, and next to it was an NPC sitting guard. The strange thing was that no information whatsoever was displayed for this NPC. Curious, Qin Feng approached. His curiosity piqued like a bargain hunter's. He thought to himself, all the information is just question marks. This was the first time he'd encountered an NPC so mysterious that it revealed no clues at all. The NPC emitted a strange sound, half human, half machine. Suddenly, the NPC knelt down, and the space around it flashed with golden crystals before they vanished without a trace. Qin Feng scratched his head, wondering, what's going on? Did it just disappear? At the same time, the barbed wire around the chest also evaporated without a word of goodbye. Looking closely, the thorns wrapped around the chest had indeed vanished without a trace. Qin Feng pondered thoughtfully. Although he couldn't get any information from that mysterious woman, his intuition told him it was all related to the eye of judgment he possessed. He observed the chest carefully, his mind racing. The brilliant golden light radiating from the chest indicated it might contain an epic-grade item. However, he remained cautious, not ruling out the possibility that it was a trap or that a boss was lying in wait. After careful consideration, Qin Feng calmly ordered his follower to open the chest. The summoned follower showed no resistance, obeying the command absolutely. As soon as it touched the chest, a blinding golden light erupted, so brilliant that the faint of heart might collapse on the spot. Qin Feng squinted to look inside and then exclaimed excitedly, "A skill book, one specifically for assassins, combining both active and passive effects." A formal notification rang out from the chest. Grace of Liberation, an epic-grade skill book for the assassin class. Passive effect, increases the chance to hit a weak point by 100%. Weak point damage is doubled. Active skill, throat slit. The next attack applies a throat-slitting effect, dealing 100% physical damage per second for 3 seconds. Cooldown, 60 seconds. Qin Feng's eyes widened in amazement as he exclaimed, "This passive effect doubles the chance of hitting a monster's weak point, and the active skill is enhanced to the absolute maximum." He analyzed with a tone that was both logical and burning with fighting spirit. If I activate the skill and land a hit that deals 300 damage, the enemy will take an additional 300 damage per second for 3 more seconds. The total damage would be 1,200, equivalent to 4 times the normal amount. After reading the skill book, Qin Feng broke into a radiant smile, filled with confidence, he thought to himself. This was a huge haul. My burst damage has skyrocketed several times over. With a single strike, even a boss would have to beg for mercy. Without hesitating, he collected all the items from the chest, stowed them neatly in his divine inventory, and turned to leave. As he walked, he calculated, it's all thanks to Xiao Hei. So, I'll just sell the remaining items to their group for convenience. It's time to head back. With that thought, he immediately contacted Xiao Hei and told Wang Meng to return to the small town, saying he would sell the items to him. Dalizi heard this and replied cheerfully, Overlord, are you done exploring? That's great. We're heading back to the small town too, just in time for some shopping. Before long, Qin Feng was back in town, still maintaining the calm and composed demeanor of someone who had just swept through an entire ruin. The first thing that caught his eye was a chaotic scene. It was chaotic and noisy. Qin Feng blinked, exclaiming in surprise, Where is this? The townspeople had swarmed and surrounded him in a massive crowd. Everyone scrambled to shout, Ah, it's Shadow! Shadow, big bro Shadow is here! Add me as a friend. Are you the real Shadow? I'm the chairman of the Landing Corporation in Jianghai City, and I'd like to invite you to my group. Master Shadow, are you short on underlings? My nickname is 666. The frenzy spread relentlessly. A mob of people pushed and shoved, yelling, Big shot, we're from Firefly Town. This is my little sister. She's a huge fan of yours. I don't mean anything by it. I just want you to remember my face. We're from Shortstown. Please let us follow you. I'm willing to marry my wife off to you. I'm from Jade Cloud Island. I'm from... Qin Feng squeezed through the crowd, thinking as he walked. It seems the connection gates between towns have been opened. That means I can go to Firefly Town where Song Fei is. Seeing the situation spiraling out of control, he immediately activated his stealth skill and slipped away from the crowd. The remaining people stared at each other in disbelief, then started blaming one another chaotically. He disappeared? Damn it, who told you guys to rush him like that? You were pushing too. You even brought out your round-faced sister to introduce her. Son of a bee. Go ahead and rush him now. While the chaos continued behind him, Qin Feng had already quietly approached Dalizi. He spoke up, Xiao Hei. Dalizi whipped around, a brilliant smile on his face, and yelled, Big shot. Before he could say more, he turned his head and shouted, Captain, the big shot is here. Before Qin Feng could react, his eyes quickly darted in one direction. It turned out Qin Xiao Yu was peeking from the crowd, hiding behind a few other players, her eyes glued on him. Qin Feng thought to himself, why is Qin Xiao Yu here? Wait, why did she join Wang Meng's party? With her skill level, I'm afraid she'll just drag the whole team down. He frowned, telling himself to be extremely careful. By now, the whole world knew the name Shadow, but his true identity could absolutely not be revealed. This power still couldn't be fully transferred to the real world. More dangerously, countless eyes were watching him now, and with one small slip-up, he could be taken out in an instant. Meanwhile, Qin Xiao Yu continued to watch him intently, thinking, is this the real Shadow? He's so overwhelmingly powerful, a world apart from the people in Wang Meng's group. If he would just help me level up, I'll be able to meet Brother Song Fei in just a few days. Without further delay, Qin Feng took out a series of items and calmly announced, these items are perfectly suited for the classes in your group. These basic skill books will also increase your combat power. The total comes to a neat 2,200 days of lifespan. Wang Meng almost choked when he heard the price. What? That much? They're all gold and silver tier. I can't afford that, Qin Feng replied nonchalantly. It's fine, you can owe me. Wang Meng was so moved his armor nearly fell off. Thank you. We truly don't know how to repay you for helping us like this. If you need anything in the future, just say the word, and we'll do everything in our power to help. Wang Meng turned to distribute the items to the team, exclaiming as he did, Oh my god, Big Shot Shadow is truly the best! Another person shouted while equipping the gear, I'm using gold tier equipment this early. It feels like a daydream. Wang Meng nodded firmly. This is a gold tier skill. I'm 5 times stronger now. On top of that, the Big Shot is letting us pay in installments. That shows how much he trusts us. Asterisk sob 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 asterisk. Meanwhile, Qin Xiao Yu stood quietly to the side, waiting. After checking the items, Wang Meng paused. Huh, why isn't there any gear for the priest? Qin Xiao Yu was startled and stammered. Huh? Another member made a harsh remark. If there's none, there's none. You should thank your lucky stars, you're even getting experience by following us. Qin Xiao Yu quickly stepped forward, her eyes sparkling, a slightly trembling smile on her face, and spoke politely, Hello, Big Shot. I'm the priest in Wang Meng's party. May I ask, is there no equipment for a priest? She casually sent a friend request, holding on to a sliver of hope. But life isn't a fairy tale. Right after she hit send, Qin Xiao Yu was hit with a bucket of cold water. Qin Feng glanced at her without saying a word, so silent you could hear the wind blowing through her fragile heart. Then he turned and walked away, leaving the priest standing there with her unanswered question. Without a second glance, without a sign of hope, Qin Xiao Yu watched his retreating figure, heartbroken, and stammered, Where did he go? Wang Meng, standing nearby, tried to comfort her. The big shot probably didn't bring any priest gear this time. Maybe next time. Another person chimed in with a malicious tone. I don't think the big shot even paid any attention to her. Da Li Zi, however, clutched his chest and daydreamed. Big Shot Shadow is as mysterious as a mythical dragon, showing his head but never his tail. Oh my god, he's so incredibly handsome. Meanwhile, Qin Feng had quietly entered a silent building. Qin Feng walked slowly, muttering to himself, I still have a gold-tier priest scepter in my inventory, not to mention a gold-tier priest skill book. But how could I just give such valuable items to Qin Xiao Yu? He continued to think, as I level up, there will be countless pieces of equipment and skill books I no longer need. Selling them is a hassle, and Wang Meng's group, which is backed by the government, really needs this stuff. I can't let Qin Xiao Yu jeopardize our partnership. I need to quickly find a new priest for that group and replace her at the same time. I have to find Xiao Shui as soon as possible. Xiao Shui was Gu Yishui, the person who had been the manager of the God Slayers Guild in his previous life. She possessed a hidden priest-type class, the White Bird Divine Official, and was always accompanied by a white bird that assisted with healing and boosted skill effectiveness. In his past life, she was the only priest Qin Feng had ever seen who could solo an epic-tier boss. She was his excellent teammate, and compared to Qin Xiao Yu, she was vastly superior. Completely superior. That's right, Qin Feng suddenly remembered Xiao Shui was also in Firefly Town, just like Song Fei. What a coincidence. I can find her and get her to join Wang Meng's party. Without another word, Qin Feng stepped towards the space portal, opening a path to Firefly Town in an instant. The town appeared in the hazy twilight. As soon as he arrived, he immediately activated his stealth skill, gliding silently through every nook and cranny, beginning his calculated reconnaissance. As he moved swiftly, he overheard a heated argument between two players. Hurry back. That silver-grade boss is almost out of health. It'll be a huge waste if it gets away. The other one growled. Damn it, that Song Fei guy is surrounded by a whole flock of girls. Today, we have to take care of that pretty boy for Hada. The other's voice was filled with bitterness. I really don't get it. He's just a minor star, yet he has a whole crowd of obsessed fans. Qin Feng, who was secretly observing, thought to himself, that was fast. I just got here and I've already found a lead on Song Fei. He silently tailed the two men, and the three of them headed towards a canyon where the strong wind made their hair whip around. Observing the gloomy terrain, Qin Feng recognized it immediately. This is the Weeping Morn Valley, a level 5 area. The monsters here are mainly flame splitters and chain wraiths. Suddenly, a shocking shout echoed from behind. Charge! Followed by the classic line from someone getting beaten up. How dare you hit me? Go to hell. Qin Feng quickly hid behind a tree, his eyes sharp, as a chaotic battle erupted. Players were rushing in to fight the monsters. It was nothing short of a chaotic free-for-all, with everyone picking their own spot to get roasted. Qin Feng frowned and muttered, a two-headed flame splitter. Isn't that a silver-grade boss? This situation is a real mess. Not only are they fighting the monster, but the players are also trying to take each other down, truly living up to the valley's name. Glancing to his left, Qin Feng spotted a group of girls forming a protective circle around a young man. A serious hunch told him that the person being protected was Song Fei. The two young men from earlier couldn't hold back and charged straight at Song Fei, screaming their lungs out, You bastard Song Fei. Last time you ambushed me and stole my lifespan. Today I'm going to finish you to get my satisfaction, the other one added, his voice full of confidence. You think hiding behind those mages will keep you safe? I have a skill that specializes in dealing with mages. It's called Throat Lock. Now you're dead for sure. Before he could even use the skill, a female mage from Song Fei's group stepped forward, raised her staff, and smashed it right on one of their heads, shouting loudly, No one is allowed to hurt Brother Song Fei. The guy who got hit stared blankly. What the hell? Qin Feng watched from the sidelines, analyzing with his sharp mind. Song Fei, who was the heaven-defying godly mage in his past life, was a mage class, and he convinced his whole legion of female fans to switch to the mage class, then contribute all their equipment and skills to him, helping him advance at lightning speed. But the problem was, he was the only proper mage on the team. His female fans were all a bunch of unique, mismatched builds. Some poured all their points into intelligence, becoming glass cannon mages with high damage but extremely fragile. Others put points into agility, turning into kiting mages who specialized in harassment. Then there were those who put points into constitution, becoming tanky mages who were good at taking hits. The most ridiculous one put everything into strength, using her staff to beat people up. In the early stages, this comical team composition was actually extremely powerful. Wherever they went, they drained the lifespan of other players, and no one could stop them. But as the game became more ruthless, his female fans started to drop off one by one at a heartbreakingly fast pace. Meanwhile, Song Fei put on a sorrowful expression, riling up his fans. My dear girls, it breaks my heart to see you all working so hard. I just hope this boss dies quickly so everyone can rest. I wish this world were full of love instead of violence. Hearing this, a chubby female mage shouted emotionally. It's not hard at all, Brother Fei. You're the one who's suffering the most. You don't deserve any of this. She turned and rallied the others. Sisters, charge. Let's kill this foul beast so it can't hurt our brother. The fervent girls roared. Arrogant monster. Song Fei will be king. From now on, there is only Song Fei. Brother, soar high. We will follow you forever. Suddenly, the boss shot a blast of fire towards Song Fei, and a female fan immediately jumped in front to block the attack, protecting him. Song Fei knelt down, feigning concern. Oh my, are you all right? The girl, though injured, still smiled. Brother Fei is always so caring. I'm crazy for you. The chubby mage continued to cheer. Sisters, keep it up. Once we take down this ugly monster, Brother Fei will rise to the #1 spot, surpassing that shadow guy. The others cheered, conquering the world, calming the storms, forever by Brother Fei's side. A bolt of lightning summoned by the female mages struck the boss, causing it to roar in pain. Song Fei stood to the side, smiling to himself. It's finally about to die. If a silver grade boss is this tough, how could one person possibly fight a gold grade boss? That shadow guy must be cheating. He continued to think. I have a whole group of people helping me, and yet I'm only level 7. What is that bastard shadow relying on to level up so fast? Once I kill this silver grade boss, I'll reach level 8. Haha, that shadow. Stuck at level 9 for so long, I'll surpass him and become #1, the god of this game. Suddenly, Qin Feng appeared, grabbing Song Fei by the head, as he glided past smoothly with a single, sharp slash, and his head flew off his neck. Qin Feng calmly said, Shadow Shield Slash. Song Fei's head was still in his hand, and he squeezed it, distorting his face. A female mage turned around in shock and screamed, Brother! But that was all she could get out before Qin Feng swept past the group of female mages, cutting them into pieces. Ding! You have killed the two-headed flame splitter. You have received 1,500 experience points. You have killed the player Heaven-Defying Godly Mage. You have killed the player Song Fei Meow Meow. You have killed the player Forever Following You. You have killed the player Zhao Fei. The kill notifications appeared one after another. 1985, 1990, 2401, 24,179. The remaining players were stunned. What? He one-shot the boss? A single skill dealing thousands of damage is terrifyingly strong. My skills only do a little over 100 points, but he's hitting for several thousand, 10 times our damage. Moreover, it was an area of effect attack that took out both Song Fei and his fans instantly. Someone shouted, Who is this assassin? Could it be Shadow? It must be the pro player Shadow, the first one to take down a gold-grade boss. Who else could be this powerful? Everyone chimed in. Fall back and leave the boss's loot for the pro. The pro player Shadow only killed Song Fei's villainous crew, helping us vent our anger. A girl screamed, The pro is a legend. Go, pro, go. Pro, I love you. Qin Feng snorted coldly at that. These people were just afraid he'd turn on them. If this were his past life, the whole crowd would have attacked him long ago. Back in Firefly Town, Song Fei respawned. A system notification appeared. You have been killed by Shadow. You have lost 1,106 days of tradable lifespan. You have lost 18 years and 113 days of non-tradable lifespan. Song Fei was horrified. I died? Killed by Shadow. Why did he come to our Firefly Town? Jianghai City has hundreds of starter towns, so why did he come here to steal my boss? His female fans also respawned and cried out, I'm dead? How did this happen? Did Appa die too? It was Shadow. But why did he kill Appa and us? One girl fumed. He must have wanted to steal the silver grade boss. That villain, sneak attacking while Appa wasn't looking. How shameless. A blue-haired girl approached and asked, Song Fei Appa, can I join your team? I'm an archer with the eagle eye skill. I can detect stealth. The mages immediately became defensive and pointed. Get away! Song Fei Appa said, we only need mages. Your monster farming efficiency is too low. You'll just drag him down in the rankings. The girl was taken aback. Huh? But who was Song Fei? He stepped forward, arms outstretched, with a radiant smile. Don't say that, everyone. I've always believed that love can overcome all obstacles. He took the girl's hand and said, I can feel your passionate feelings for me. It doesn't matter that you're an archer. Come join us, and we'll grow strong together. Hearing his sweet words, the girl was moved to tears. Appa, I love you. The other female fans also crowded in. Song Fei Appa, I'm an assassin. I have stealth too. I can retaliate against others. Song Fei Appa, I have an AoE control skill. I can freeze him. Song Fei radiated a main character's aura. Everyone, we are one big loving family. Anyone who wants to join is welcome. Come, we will always be united. His fans were stirred up again, their eyes welling with tears. So heartwarming. We'll follow Song Fei forever. and never regret it. These people then shouted in unison, "That shadow bastard only knows how to use his assassin skills to sneak attack. He has no sportsmanship. Daring to touch our Appa will make him pay dearly." That's right, that's right. Once we get that shadow guy under control, we'll let Appa finish him off and show him the consequences of angering our man. Revenge. We have to kill that shadow guy. Avenge Appa, for Appa's sake. For Appa, we must eliminate that dog Shadow. Nearby players who overheard this were baffled, thinking, what's going on? What is this little village planning to do? One person sneered, heh, you don't know? That guy got killed by someone from outside the village. Really? With that whole harem of girls protecting him? How could he possibly get killed? His opponent was Shadow, you get it? The high-level Shadow. That Shadow guy really dared to take on this crowd? I think these girls aren't right in the head, after spewing sweet nothings to charm his fans. Song Fei thought smugly to himself, perfect. With so many witnesses, when I take down that Shadow guy, everyone will see it clearly. No matter how strong he is, a lone wolf can't do anything, especially a lowly assassin. How can he compare to a noble mage like me? On the other side, Qin Feng was using his greedy hand skill. The system announced, you have received 16 evolution points and 217 days of tradable lifespan. Silver grade loot times 6, gold grade loot times 1. Qin Feng immediately upgraded his blessed release skill. The system announced, you have consumed 10 evolution points, with 9 remaining. The epic grade skill blessed release has reached legendary grade, and its passive effect has been improved. Weak point damage effect increased from 100% to 200%. The weak point hit rate has been doubled. Active skill. The next attack applies a cutthroat effect, dealing damage per second equal to 150% of the attack's damage, up from 100%, lasting for 3 seconds. Cooldown reduced from 30 seconds and 22.2 seconds down to 25 seconds and 18.5 seconds. Qin Feng calculated in his head. The ability to target weak points increased from 100% to 200%. This means the weak point damage when hitting a target has doubled. If I amplify this further, wouldn't half of the enemy's body become a weak point? Then, even my Shadow Shield Slash could deal weak point damage. What's more, the damage from Cutthroat has been boosted, and the cooldown is down from 30 seconds to 25 seconds. I feel like I could one-shot even a gold grade boss now. An epic skill initially required 0 evolution points to reach legendary grade. But going from legendary to mythic costs 100 times more evolution points. From legendary to mythic requires 200 points. Following this rule, for Greedy Hand, an epic grade skill, evolving it would require 210 points, and reaching legendary grade would take 340 points. I have 9 evolution points left right now. What should I do with them? I guess I'll upgrade Enhanced Backstab. The system announced, you have consumed 8 evolution points, with 1 remaining. The gold grade skill Enhanced Backstab has evolved to the silver grade. The passive effect when attacking from behind has been improved. Target, damage increased from 30% to 40%. Qin Feng marveled. A silver grade boss and a bunch of players had helped him earn over 1,400 days of tradable lifespan. What a steal. Time to head back to town. But suddenly, a female assassin rushed in to attack from behind. Qin Feng glanced over and leaned back, dodging it perfectly. The girl shouted, die. Darkness! She slashed down repeatedly, but only met with misses. Panicked, she screamed, why is this happening? When the assassination failed, she grew furious and immediately went into stealth on the spot. Dust kicked up everywhere. A group of Song Fei's fanatical players shouted from above, die, you scumbag Darkness! You're surrounded by us! We're here to get revenge for Brother Fei! A female archer next to them drew her bow and yelled, yeah! The female mage nearby also shouted, we must avenge Brother Fei. Down below, Qin Feng immediately activated Shadow Shield to go invisible. The female archer scoffed, it's useless. My skill can track stealth. She shot an arrow into the sky, and feathers rained down, but it only revealed the female assassin who had just failed to assassinate Qin Feng. The group didn't realize it was their ally and cheered excitedly. Awesome! We found him! Sisters, unleash your strongest skills! Attack him! Countless attacks immediately rained down on the female assassin. She screamed in panic. Ah, wait, I'm not him, but it was too late. The attacks poured right onto her. The group above realized they had hit the wrong person, and the chubby female mage quickly made an excuse. It's okay. It doesn't matter. She's not a mage anyway, which means she doesn't truly love our Song Fei. This is her punishment. Quick, release the tracking bird. Hunt down that Darkness guy. The female archer immediately complied. Suddenly, Qin Feng activated the Ghostfire Spirit Bell, a special item. The system announced that shaking the Ghostfire Spirit Bell would inflict a 3-second immobilization effect on all enemies within a 100-meter radius. The cooldown time is 600 seconds, with 521 seconds remaining. All the female fans were frozen solid, not understanding what was happening. The female archer was horrified, unable to move. A dark figure flashed by, accompanied by a series of consecutive slashes. It was Qin Feng's shadow shield slash. He approached Song Fei. At this moment, Song Fei was hiding to the side, wondering in confusion. What's going on? They all died for no apparent reason. Could that darkness guy have done it? Impossible. How could he do it without even showing himself? Qin Feng was already standing right next to Song Fei, whispering in his ear, Song Fei, you're dead meat. Song Fei jumped in shock, quickly raising a magic shield and yelling, Damn it! But how could he defend against it? Qin Feng threw a highly poisonous dart, which pierced through the shield and lodged right in Song Fei's forehead. He immediately collapsed to the ground. Looking at the loot that dropped, Qin Feng muttered, This guy still has a long life ahead of him. He has about 2,000 days of tradable lifespan. But why don't his female fans have any tradable lifespan? Were they planning to give all their lifespan to Song Fei? It's been so long. Haven't they realized that divine abandonment is just a game? This group is truly a bunch of idiots. What a pity. If they had tradable lifespan, I could have earned a few hundred days. So, these items can only be left for the nearby monsters to benefit from. At the revival point in Firefly Town, Song Fei had revived, roaring in anger. Damn it, I only have 500 days left out of my 2,000 days of tradable lifespan. The chubby female mage next to him asked the female archer, Didn't you use your tracking skill? Why couldn't you find him? The female archer quickly replied, I did use my skill, but I only found that female assassin. I saw a stealth level in the attribute panel. Maybe that darkness guy's stealth level is higher. That's right, the female mage nodded. I also saw that my anti-stealth skill is only level 1. It can only detect level 1 stealth. From level 2 and up, I can't see him. Song Fei was furious. That damn darkness. He comes and goes without a trace. How can I guard against him? I didn't even do anything to offend him. And besides, he already stole the boss. He shouldn't have come back to kill me. Then he rallied his deluded followers. For everyone's safety, let's go somewhere else to level up. Everyone chanted in unison. Wherever you go, we will follow. At this time, Qin Feng had also returned to town. Not seeing Song Fei and his group, he wondered with suspicion. Strange. I don't see Song Fei and his crew anywhere. Could he have gone to another town or logged off? He asked a nearby player. Hey, do you know where Song Fei and his group went? The person jumped when he saw Qin Feng suddenly appear. Ah, you scared me to death, Great One. Darkness. He pointed in a direction. Great One. Song Fei and his group went that way. Please go kill him, but I have a small request. Next time you kill Song Fei, can you spare my girlfriend? Her name is Fei Bao Mian. She's a female hunter. Qin Feng replied, I'd advise you to get a new girlfriend, he thought to himself. His girlfriend must be the female hunter with the stealth detection skill. The guy quickly pleaded, Great One, please sir, it took me forever to find a girlfriend. But Qin Feng had already activated Shadow Shield to go invisible. The guy kept calling out, Great One, please. Qin Feng paid him no mind, thinking to himself that even though he knew the direction they left, he didn't know their destination. Searching would take quite some time, if only the reliable Xiao Shui were here. Suddenly, a figure zipped past, and Qin Feng was startled to realize it was Xiao Shui. He deactivated his stealth and walked up to her. Hey, beautiful, can you do me a favor? Xiao Shui Qi Ying was surprised. Ah, your darkness. Qin Feng nodded. I heard you have the ability to search for targets over a wide area. Is that right? Help me find Song Fei and his crew, and in return, I'll sell you a platinum-grade staff at a cheap price. Xiao Shui was overjoyed, already operating her interface. She asked doubtfully, But how did you know I have a wide area search ability? I've never told anyone. Qin Feng smiled. Don't worry about that. Just tell me if you want a platinum-grade scepter or not. Xiao Shui nodded eagerly. Yes, but I'm afraid I can't afford it. Qin Feng replied. It's only a few hundred days. The original price is at least 700 to 800 days. Xiao Shui was skeptical. Really, Qin Feng nodded. Initiate the trade with me. The system announced the trade was successful. Xiao Shui held the platinum-grade scepter, smiling brightly. He, a platinum-grade scepter. Qin Feng tapped her lightly on the head. Get to work now. Xiao Shui nodded. Yes. She released her scouting bird, thinking to herself, It's clearly my first time meeting the Dark Archon, so why does he feel so familiar? She asked. Archon, aren't you afraid I'll just take the item and run without helping you? Qin Feng smiled. Why don't you hate Tong Fei? Xiao Shui turned back. Archon, how do you know I hate Tong Fei? Are you my friend in real life? But your voice doesn't sound familiar. Qin Feng chuckled softly. Haha, take a guess, Xiao Shui said bluntly. I'm too lazy to guess. She sent her bird flying to continue its work. Her eyes lit up with the bird's every movement. Whatever the bird saw, she saw too, Xiao Shui reported. Found Tong Fei. Coordinates 386-9527. But I'm not sure they'll stay put. By the time you get there, They might have moved. Qin Feng nodded. Add me as a friend, keep an eye on them, and update me. Xiao Shui asked worriedly. Ah, how long do you need me to track them? If it's for too long, I'll die. Qin Feng cut her off, just for a moment. Then he immediately left. A short while later, Qin Feng arrived at a ravine. Suddenly, his eyes glinted, and as he reached a forest, he abruptly stopped. Xiao Shui was confused. Hey, why did you stop? Qin Feng walked over to a tree with a strange symbol carved on it and said to Xiao Shui, do me a favor, see if there are any other large, similar trees nearby. Xiao Shui was puzzled. Huh? All right, she reported. Archon, there's one tree 100 meters from you and another 100 meters to your left. Qin Feng placed his hand on the symbol on the tree trunk and a strange light shone out. Xiao Shui asked, what is that symbol? Qin Feng smiled. Take a guess. Around Qin Feng, beams of light formed a triangle. In the center, a treasure chest appeared. Xiao Shui exclaimed in shock. Ah, is that a gold-grade treasure chest? Qin Feng remarked, I can't believe I received a blessing from the ancient gods in the novice town. What a stroke of luck. A treasure chest even appeared. The blessing of the ancient gods can appear randomly in the god-forsaken land. A number of strange symbols will appear in an area. When enough symbols are activated, the blessing will be unlocked. It could be a powerful monster or a treasure chest, or even a special treasure chest. Xiao Shui said excitedly, Archon, you're so lucky. This treasure chest could probably sell for 1,000 days of tradable lifespan. Qin Feng walked over to the chest, thinking to himself, her estimate is pretty accurate. In my past life, at this point, the real-world exchange rate for tradable lifespan was 1 to 10,000 N. By the second day, the rate had already jumped to 1 to 50,000. Xiao Shui was also thinking to herself, the Archon just ran his hand over the symbols. I have to remember this. With my search ability, I might be able to find these myself later. The system announced, you have opened a gold-grade treasure chest, obtaining the gold-grade skill book, Curse Flower. Qin Feng was puzzled. Curse Flower? What kind of skill is this? The system announced, Curse Flower, Gold Grade, Multi-Target Skill. If used on a player's corpse within 15 seconds of their death, a Curse Flower will grow on the enemy's body. The Curse Flower continuously drains the target's tradable lifespan until it reaches 0 with no cooldown. Qin Feng was astonished. Whoa, this skill is ridiculously overpowered. I heard about this skill in my past life, so it was called Curse Flower. The name is quite fitting. With this skill, as long as I kill a player and protect their corpse, the Curse Flower will drain all of their tradable lifespan. Tong Fei's glory days are over. This time, I'll kill him until he rage quits the game. Then I need to quickly reach level 10 to transfer these resources to the real world, and then completely destroy him in real life. With that thought, Qin Feng immediately took action. Elsewhere, Tong Fei and his mob of rabid fans were fighting a boss. After taking down the boss, Tong Fei thought to himself, we've run this far. That shadow guy probably can't catch up. He stole a silver-grade boss from me and killed me twice. That should be enough for him. He wouldn't hunt me all the way here, right? His face twisted into a sinister expression. After I level up more here, I'll go back and settle the score with him. Damn that shadow. Suddenly, the chubby female maid shouted, Brother Fei, look, someone's fighting a boss over there. Tong Fei immediately got excited. Oh my god, those people look like fans of that shadow guy. Hearing this, the chubby girl roared angrily. What? The mob of fans immediately became aggressive. It's more fans of that bastard. These damn insects are just trying to help him level up. Sisters, charge and kill them all. We can't let these pests stop Brother Fei from dominating the rankings. Seeing the mob of fans approaching, a guy holding a shield, the tank, was overjoyed. Awesome! Reinforcements are here. Hey everyone, this boss is almost out of health. Let's take it down together. But his greeting was met with a staff smashing right into his face, a full-force blow from the chubby girl's rage. His companions panicked. Captain, what are you guys doing? Are you crazy? The chubby girl and her cronies were full of hostility. This is the price you pay for being fans of that shadow. Another girl was bewildered. What? Shadow? I don't know what you're talking about. But her response was arrows piercing her eyes and mouth. The last person screamed in terror. The ferocious female archer yelled, Go back to hell! Become the leader and get the hell out of my way, wiping out these dark fans and monsters. A vast sky, a loyal heart, love that flies to the end of time. As he spoke, arrows continued to fly towards the monster and the other player. Instantly, both the monster and the other player were defeated. Song Fei looked at the loot that dropped and cheered excitedly. Oh my god, thank you to my beloved family. I was almost taken out by those dark fans. I never knew they were so sinister and vicious. His fangirls burst into tears. You don't have to thank us. We'll think of our dear brother Fei no matter where we go. Just then, Qin Feng appeared in the distance, observing the cheering crowd. He immediately activated his shadow shield to go invisible. Qin Feng's voice echoed out. Hearing it, Song Fei and his entire group went pale with panic. Song Fei was startled and tried to turn around, but before he could see anything, his head was severed from his neck. Qin Feng's voice was cold. He's dead now. The fangirls shrieked in agony. Brother Fei! Qin Feng's body slowly materialized as he immediately cast the Flower of Curse skill. A crimson flower bloomed from Song Fei's neck, horrifying the fangirls. What is that? The scene then cuts to the respawn point. Song Fei respawned and roared in fury. You shadow bastard. Are you insane? Why do you keep targeting me? Is it because I have so many girls fawning over me? You're jealous, aren't you? Damn it. That bastard must have come to Firefly Town because of me. Don't tell me the girl he was hitting on is one of my fans too, but what's that got to do with me? A system notification appeared. Tradable lifespan is continuously decreasing. 400, 390, 380, 370. Song Fei panicked. His lifespan was now less than 400 days and it was still dropping steadily. What the hell is going on? Is this some kind of penalty for dying too many times? Just then, his fangirls also respawned. They screamed in terror, Brother Fei, this is bad. That shadow guy used a skill, and now there's a blood-red flower growing on your body. It looks like it's draining something from you. Song Fei was shocked. What? A flower grew on my corpse, and it's draining my lifespan? The system's tradable lifespan notification continued. 350, 340, 330. He thought to himself, you damn shadow, you're too cruel. So you're really trying to kill me. I have to log out right now. If I die again, my lifespan will be completely drained. He turned to his fangirls. Everyone, let's log off for now. I'm going to go buy more lifespan. Then I'll come back and finish gearing up. When that's done, we'll all be fully armed and powered up to take him on together. The fangirls chanted in unison. Wherever Brother Fei goes, our hearts will follow. Song Fei gritted his teeth. He thought, just you wait, Shadow. This isn't over. It took me more than 2.5 years of grinding to achieve what I have today. I refuse to believe I can't just pay to win my way to crushing you. Meanwhile, the Flower of Curse continued to bloom on the corpses. Qin Feng was steadily absorbing their tradable lifespan. A system notification appeared. Due to killing an excessive number of players, your PK value is now at level 4. Upon death, you will lose 96.875% of your current lifespan. Qin Feng ignored the notification and muttered, another 1,000 days of lifespan. Looks like Song Fei and his crew killed a fair number of monsters. But the absorption has stopped now. It seems Song Fei and his cronies have logged off. From high above, Xiao Shui was still watching everything through her scouting bird. She thought in terror. So this is Shadow's true strength. The #1 player on the rankings is truly terrifying. Qin Feng looked up and asked Xiao Shui, Song Fei logged off, right? Xiao Shui replied, that's right. He and all his fans logged out. Qin Feng instructed her. All right, keep an eye out from now on, and let me know the moment he logs back in. Xiao Shui nodded. Got it, master. So, can I go now? Qin Feng stopped her. Hold on, I have a golden skill book for the priest class. Holy Sword of Judgment. Do you want it? Xiao Shui's eyes sparkled. Ah, yes, I want it, Qin Feng said. Go back to Firefly Town and wait for me. Back in Firefly Town, Qin Feng handed the skill book to Xiao Shui. This skill book is worth 500 days of tradable lifespan, but if you agree to one condition, I'll sell it to you for half price. Xiao Shui jumped and exclaimed, Ah, master, I'm not selling my body, Qin Feng said helplessly. What are you thinking? I'm just asking you to join a party and be their permanent healer. Xiao Shui sighed in relief. Oh, okay, but if they're total noobs, I'm gonna tell on you two. Well, you. Qin Feng laughed. They're not that bad. They're actually quite skilled. I'm contacting them right now. Elsewhere, Wang Meng had just defeated a monster with his hammer. His entire body was poisoned. He sighed in relief. Finally done. He turned and said urgently, Quick, Xiao Yu, cure my poison. Qin Xiao Yu fumbled. Huh? Cure poison? Wang Meng said impatiently. Yes. Every priest has a poison cure skill. Hurry! I'm about to die from it! Qin Xiao! Yu acted like she understood. Oh, right, this skill. I see it, she yelled. Purification spell, but the spell hit a nearby tree instead. Wang Meng immediately coughed up a mouthful of blood, and Jin Li, who was next to him, scrambled out of the way. Qin Xiao, Yu stammered. Ah, sorry, I miscast. The others cried out in alarm. Captain! And just like that, Wang Meng was rushed back to town. Back in town, everyone tried to console Wang Meng. He angrily buried his face in his hands, thinking he had to replace this babysitter immediately. But where could he find a professional priest now? All the good ones were already on teams. Meanwhile, Qin Xiao Yu was still excited. Wow, this game isn't so hard after all. I hit level 4 just like that. Awesome. At this rate, I'll be able to meet Brother Song Fei in no time. Just then, a message from Qin Feng came through. Wang Meng, I know someone, a divine priest with a hidden class. Her skills are pretty good. Is your team interested? Wang Meng composed himself. Master, if you say she's good, then she must be amazing. Your recommendation is all I need. Qin Feng replied. All right, she's in Firefly Town. There are fewer people grinding mobs over there, so you guys should come here to party up and level. Wang Meng understood immediately. No problem. We're on our way. Shell Town is too crowded. We're planning to move to another spot to level up. He turned back to look at Qin Xiao Yu, hesitating. Xiao Yu, Shell Town is just too packed right now. We need to go to a higher level area to grind. With your current level, it's a bit dangerous to tag along, so we can't take you with us. Qin Xiao Yu was taken aback, but I think I can still. Before she could finish, Wang Meng's group had already taken off. No can do. We're in a hurry. Let's go. Xiao Yu, take care of yourself. Qin Xiao Yu froze, gritting her teeth and thinking, you jerks. If you wanted to ditch me, just say so. Why make excuses? It just so happens I was getting bored anyway. I'll find the Shadow Overlord to carry me. Meanwhile, Wang Meng had met up with Qin Feng. He transferred 800 days of lifespan to Qin Feng, saying, this is the lifespan for the equipment from last time. We still owe you 500 days. Our Captain An will give it to you later. He sighed. Lifespan is really hard to come by in this game. Qin Feng thought to himself. Captain An? Could it be An Yu? He nodded. All right, this is Xia Xuetian, and he's Wang Meng. Go ahead and introduce yourselves. Suddenly, a voice called out, Wang Meng, I'm here. A girl with the ID Enforced Justice appeared. Qin Feng looked at her, thinking that it was indeed An Yu. In the game, she went by Enforced Justice, with the unique hidden class Dragon Swordsman, one of the 20 strongest people in the world in his past life, a pillar of the Great Xia government, and the nightmare of countless hostile foreign powers. And Yu walked over to shake Qin Feng's hand enthusiastically, Shadow Overlord. Wow. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm An Yu, a huge admirer of yours. Qin Feng replied. Hello. He thought to himself, this is the first time in Divine Forsaken that I've met a player who was stronger than me in my past life. And Yu smiled. Shadow Overlord, you're progressing so quickly. Do you have any secrets? I was even joking before that maybe you're a transmigrator or a regressor. Hey, Qin Feng thought. But according to my memories from my past life, and Yu wasn't on the same team as Wang Meng. It seems she's representing the Jianghai government, buying up quite a bit of lifespan. A Dragon Swordsman has extremely high survivability, so the government must feel very secure in trusting their lifespan to her. And Yu continued. Overlord, if you have any equipment in the future, just sell it to us. We'll buy anything. Oh, and all the Jianghai government's lifespan is on me, so you probably won't kill me, right? Qin Feng laughed. Of course not. I'm not that short-sighted. A mutually beneficial partnership is always the best option. And Yu beamed. Hey, I knew the Overlord was a smart man. Qin Feng thought. Ha, every sentence is a test. Just like the rumors from my past life, and Yu seems innocent on the surface but is actually extremely shrewd and uses tough methods. She's now the bridge between me and the Great Xia government, which will also save me a lot of trouble.